guy seems.
Jeez, what a nerd.
Okay.
It's by me. You just lost your d20, right?
Yeah. Someone else's lost their D20.
Okay.
Don't forget. Sure.
All right. All right. So now we are legitimate. But whenever you come back, that's fine. Welcome back to NoWhere. Last week we had technical difficulties, so nothing properly recorded. So this should be our first actual recording that's up. Everything is in test mode right now, so if anything messes up, please feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to fix it. Otherwise, let's hope we have fun on today's game.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, as we left off, you all were in the RV, flying across the sky, across NoWhere.
Yep, the map on the table has our current location.
So, if I remember right, the forged of you were going to stay up and monitor the ship, or the RV, and drive east, while the rest of you slept, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and was there anything else that you guys wanted to do while resting? Before you rest, after you rest, or while...
Yep, he did.
He took a hand.
Can I look at that?
Yeah.
I want to investigate it.
I gave it to him.
And did you want to... talk to him about that?
Yep, did you mention before you wanted the pylon?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Curtis reaches out to you about giving you the upgraded for the Avatar series and a melee weapon, he suggests, I know your dex is not as high as, so using a precision weapon like a semi-automatic or a rifle doesn't sound like it would be up your alley, but would a shotgun be applicable?
Yeah.
Yep, basically he has just rough equivalent double barrels, which are just, we give you some basic range. I'm using spread shot rounds. They shouldn't really need a Magicell charge unless you want to add one through yourself, but, is that about right?
The basic double
The basic
barrel.
double barrel. You know, I mean, we can go with a triple barrel if we want. But,
So, you have the stats for your old one.
yep, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Someone has the money on you, Sam.
Hmm?
Someone has their money on you.
For what?
Someone in the comments. Alright, my money's on the rogue, lol.
Yeah, usually he does well. Yeah, I don't have the base stats for my original one. Do you mean my upgraded ones? My upgraded shoddy?
No, hold on a sec. I'll bring it up for you.
Okay.
Let's see.
I mean, at that point, it'd be more of a sawed-off. It wouldn't even be like a rifle style like the one I had, because I was a human, a weak human, technically speaking. Rogues are not known for their strength.
I keep grabbing
Yeah, I mostly just wanted something that had a bit more range than the swords, because...
Yeah, no, a sawed-off concept double barrel should be fine for up to like 25 feet, 30 feet. So it'll give you some range, but it won't. I mean, I'm not designing it for range with you. I'm basically designing a double barrel, like a straight-up sawed-off, boom, hand cannon.
So, you ready to write stuff?
Right stats.
Gets
Oh no.
Gets asked if I want chips. Steals chips away.
So, it's a double barrel shotgun. And you get 2 attacks per round. So, yours is based upon, it's going to be for a bonus on it under damage type. Just put in plus dex, which for you is a +1. And you're giving them the full ammo types, right?
Yep.
All right, it's a 25-foot range. Okay. So, you ready for the pain part? All right. So, in the line underneath, you have a couple choices. You have a slug, which is like a straight shot. That's D10. You have scattershot, which is a 15-foot cone that does D10 force damage plus D6 piercing damage. And then it's a bonus action to reload it.
I'll probably go with the spread.
It's depending on which ammo you put in it.
So you get to pick your ammo.
When you load it, you load either a slug or you load in the scattershot.
So you'll just specify when you want to use it, which ammo you're using. Okay. I mean, the scattershot's good at 15 feet, whereas the slug's for 25. So it's basically what range you're shooting at. Okay.
Alright. Okay. So, we're heading east. You guys are all sleeping. You're hooking them up with the shotgun while you sleep.
Yep.
So, do a perception roll to see if you notice anything during the night.
The whole table or just me?
Just the two of you.
Okay.
I'm not sleeping either. I'm rooted.
Yeah, she's right on top.
But you also have to sleep. Otherwise, you'll get exhaustion. So,
No, I'm sleeping.
you were sleeping while rooted.
Perception? Total 16.
Miss not having
16.
sleep.
You rolled a 17 plus whatever your perception is.
0. So 17, 16.
Okay. So both of you don't see much. You do see a small encampment that you fly over that looks like there's about 20 people at it with the bonfire. Nothing special. As the dawn starts to come up, you can see the road in the distance ahead of you. Make another perception check. And this is about when everyone else will be waking up.
27.
3.
Okay. The sun is glaring off the windshield, and you can't see jack squat, Zach. I'm sorry. Alright, but as for you, you see that there is a caravan of carts, about 3 of them, coming down southward on the road. In front of the caravan looks to be about 20 armored soldiers. Behind the caravan looks to be another 20 armored soldiers. And on the sides of the caravan, you can see robed figures.
I call it for the party. I love it.
Okay.
Everybody.
Yes.
Is it what time of day is it?
Early morning. Sun is just coming up.
So this is when I would start waking
There's
up.
a caravan on the road up ahead. Looks to be about 40 soldiers, some cloaked figures next to 3 carts.
Oh, fun.
Can't I get 5 more minutes of sleep?
Are they traveling with haste? Anything nearby in proximity?
Nope, it's just a well-armored, guarded caravan.
Oh, good. Do we have enough time to make breakfast then?
Oh, yes.
Can I tell from when I saw the campfire with the people at it during the night? Are they looking like they're going to...
Oh, that was hours ago.
Hours ago? Okay. Making sure they weren't intercepting.
That was middle of the night, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Can I make out any specific colors?
That's like morning.
Is there any type of colors or or any type of designs I can make out for the caravan that would dictate as who it belongs to?
No real markings on it, but they are definitely heavy laden carts. You can see at that high of a roll, you'd be able to see that they are sinking into the ground a bit. So whatever they're carrying is a pretty heavy load. And the fact that each cart is pulled by 4 heavy horses.
Xander. Ballas, your boss from the NoWhere, did he say...
Ballas.
He said that the shipments were being attacked on the routes, right? Technically where we're at.
Usually, yeah.
Would that be Bloodsteel, probably? It looks like the content.
Bloodsteel is like the main thing that he's worried about being stolen because our numbers have been going down severely.
So judging from what I can tell to the party, from what I can tell, it looks like they're transporting something heavy, probably blood steel if I had to make.
Let's do it.
Can I try to sense whether or not it's blood steel? Somehow.
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
I don't want to use that one.
I'm being nice even letting you make a check, because you're still a couple miles away.
At disadvantage, 5.
Yeah. You've sensed blood steel everywhere.
Woo!
Everywhere.
Tasty, tasty blood steel.
Below you, off in the distance. Stronger from the north. Weaker from the south.
I call to the party. Should we talk to them? They don't look to be like a problem at the moment, or we can avoid them up to the party.
We can talk.
If they
Why
work,
me?
if they work for your boss, then it's not like we're here to fight them.
But if it's not
If it's not
the
one, that's up.
workers,
Why do we have to?
Now you're about a mile away from them.
I start to slow down the RV. Start to kind of I activate the mirror image defense.
Okay.
I'm gonna activate my wings and lower to the ground because apparently you guys want me to go talk to them. I'll go do it. I mean, I'm fine with that, but be ready to back me up if I start getting mauled by a bunch of angry blood fever fiends.
So I talked to Bruno and set him to triangulate a course to follow the caravan.
Wait,
and
Bruno's with us?
Bruno 2.0. It's not Bruno.
There's a Bruno 2.0!
Describe them.
It's not the Bruno you guys know. It's basically a smaller, less intelligent version, since Curtis still needs Bruno with him. So basically, it's just a robot.
You.
And it can do basic things like control the RV and whatnot.
You non-biologicals.
Yeah, I know. I don't. Kyle doesn't really love it all that much either, but he's handy. But so Kyle will go down with Xander to talk to them.
So you're gonna go down?
I'm going to pull the RV in front of the caravan, and then hop down, and then extended arm and friendship. Call out to them, not aggressive, making no aggressive actions.
Well, that's not gonna happen. As you get about a quarter of a mile to it, okay, all of a sudden, who's all's awake?
I think everyone's awake.
Okay, so why don't you all do a perception roll for me to see how much detail you all notice?
8.
Perception?
24.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Okay.
16
20
plus my
versus what I
4.
rolled that actually
15.
do.
17, 18, 19, 30, 40.
Oh, 19, so 19, 24, nat 20,
22.
22. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still waking up. Y'all woke me up way too early.
So as you're driving up to it, preparing to come
This
up,
is Mark to talk to.
yeah, as you're about a quarter of a mile away from it, okay, you can see in perfect detail, and the rest of you in pretty decent detail, Lydia especially, okay, that in front of and behind the caravan, the ground begins to stir. And then, as you get a little bit closer, from behind and in front of the caravan, out comes these giant, red, swirling, worm-like creatures that have
Get
these
wrecked.
barbs spinning all around them.
Nope.
They look very mechanical, much like the boring machines that you saw before, that the gnomes were working on for mining.
Yeah.
The one that looked like a worm with all the blades coming off
That
of
was in
it.
their shop outside
Yeah.
of the
So
hotel.
each of these are about 20 feet wide, and they come up from the front and back of the caravan, and then just decimate their way through the guards, tearing them to shreds, and then consume the front and the back carts, and sink back down underground.
Can I take?
Huh, funny
Well,
enough,
shit.
he did say that the production has been reduced into like a third of what it used to be.
Can I activate Bruno 2.0's visual acuity and take photos of the attack from where I'm at?
Sure.
I take those and send them to Xavier
Okay.
because I think it's an inside job. If Bayless was looking at the shipments of blood steel going missing, and those, I tell the party, and I lock down the RV and activate the shield
Okay.
before we disembark.
because of your high roll, what was your total with the natural 20? 25? Okay, so the two of you notice, but only the two of you, because it would be like a DC 24,
Okay.
that off to the east on a little hill, you can see a cloaked figure standing there watching the whole thing, that as soon as the worms disappear below ground, he turns around and walks behind the hill and disappears.
Dun dun dun.
Not even close.
Oh, okay.
So the butchery is just north of No Name. Right now, you are just north of the tower.
Oh.
About 5-10 miles north of the tower. So you can see the tower clearly, including the large number of Spelljammer ships that are accumulated, and more seem to be coming in.
I believe that's Jackal Boys, man.
Yeah, as you guys heard, someone's kind of upset.
Salty bitch.
So,
I mean, I would be mad if Crystal was taken from me.
so
I stole her fair and square, so she's mine now. That little.
Hours on the clock.
so what do you guys want to do now?
Does it look like after the cloaked figure dropped behind the hill, there was no visual on him, he just poofed?
Yep.
Okay,
And
so
the
there's
cloaked figures that were on the side of the caravan have circled around the remaining cart.
I'm gonna call Bolus.
no...
Okay, on your communication stone. No answer. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Can I leave a message for him?
No.
Can I call again?
Okay.
So mad at me, I don't care.
He doesn't wake up.
Let's do it again.
I'm gonna call again.
Nope.
I'm gonna call again.
Nope.
Does Xander get... I mean, sorry. Does Xavier get back to me?
Nope. He got the message,
Okay.
but you can see it hasn't been opened or read yet.
Alright.
You have a lot more options on your type of communication than he does.
I'm going to call again.
What the fuck?
Bolus.
This
so
thing just keeps on fucking beeping. What? This it better be fucking important, or I swear I'm gonna
it's
castrate
important.
someone.
It's about the blood steal.
Oh, what? Xander?
Yes.
I'm too fucking asleep. What the fuck?
I understand, but the blood steal that you are having us investigate. I just came across one of the caravans, and it was just attacked by two snake-like metallic or mechanical creatures that took literally 2/3 of the shipment.
So, did you stop them?
They were too fast.
Did you figure out where they went?
They went underground.
Then what the fuck are you waking me up for?
To inform you.
Okay, so you're informing me that another caravan got hit, you didn't do jack shit about it.
Okay, bye.
You don't know what's... I will make a note of that. Okay.
Do I hear all of this from inside? I'm
Hello,
still
Miss
Tom.
Bobby.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah?
Bolus is mad at me.
Maybe you shouldn't have
All of
called
you
him.
could hear
Shut
it.
the fuck up, Kyle.
Can I just like poke my head in from the hatch? You're like, what the fuck's going
Shut the
on?
fuck up, Morrow.
Fine, bitch!
Anyone else want to try to do it? Come on.
So the cloaked figures that are surrounding the last cart.
What are you planning? I'm not gonna smoke it, but I'll take it and put it in my pocket.
So,
So that went well.
Because last time I
does
got a
the...
joint from
What
you,
can I
it
tell about
changed
the last
my
remaining
colors.
cart? Just...
It looks basically untouched. The horses are scared shitless. The cloaked figures surrounding it are looking around very cautiously and carefully. And you can see that most of them seem to be holding up staves or some type of other metallic object.
Is there a hole in the ground?
No, it filled in behind it.
Can I go down to the ground and investigate the ground where it was previously penetrated by
Are you
these
bringing it
metal
down for a landing?
Yeah.
creatures?
Okay, how far away?
I'll pull it like a good 50 feet away just to give them a chance to see us.
On the road or off the side of the road?
Off the side of the road.
Okay.
And then I'll bring it down deactivate the cloak, and then come out waving my arms non-offensively, calling out to the group as I approach with Xander.
How do you know what's not offensive?
Because I'm not holding a gun.
So as you come out, you can see that there's about 8 people that are pointing staves towards you. Okay, and with your history, you can tell they're muttering something.
We work for Bolus, I call out to them.
No, I work for Bolus.
Well, regardless.
No change in their response. So, go ahead. I told you what they're doing. What are you doing?
Are you guys part of the merchant guild?
I show my merchant icon. Here to help if you're in trouble.
A bunch of them lower their staves a little bit and stop muttering. A couple of them are still muttering incantations. One of them steps forward, okay, pulls back the hood, and you can see he's got the red, mottled look on his face. He looks to be nowhere near as bad as those farmers were, okay, but you can definitely see the corruption of the red coming across his facial features. He appears to be elven, relatively tall, about 6.5 feet tall, long silvery hair that has these like streaks of red coloring through it as well. And he comes towards you, shows you his marching emblem,
Okay.
okay, then shows you his holy symbol, which appears to be a 5-headed dragon.
Can I make a
All hail Hydra.
Go for it.
I don't actually say that in character, but all hail Hydra. Marvel reference.
19.
And so you're not saying that out loud?
No, I'm not saying
Okay.
that out loud.
Sorry, what'd you get?
21.
21?
Yeah.
It's the holy symbol for Takesis, the 5-headed dragon, mother of the chromatic dragons. One of the most evil of all gods, known for corruption and for wanting to continually decimate the world and destroy it. Or rule over it.
I look at him and say, Jesus?
Ah, you know her. Our goddess has blessed us in many ways.
Do I know if they're friends with Loki? If she's on... No? Okay, then I'm not gonna say anything more.
Don't you
No,
have the symbol?
Not necessarily enemies,
Yes.
okay, but Loki is a lot more of a neutral god
Yeah.
and may have dealt with Takesis at one point or another, okay, but no, she's a bitch. So you come from No Name,
Yes.
and who's Bolus?
Mercenary group leader connected to the Merchants Guild.
Merchant Alliance mission giver.
The security we ordered?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Has this been happening a lot?
almost every shipment.
Does it always happen around here?
Sometimes further up, sometimes further down. Anywhere across this path. There's also 4 other alternate routes that we take that are also being hit the same way.
Do you have any ideas about...
We've begun heavily loading the middle cart and leaving the 2 end ones only half laden at that point. When we tried bringing empty ones, they seemed to know that they were empty and just took out the loaded one. It's been ridiculous.
Do you have any ideas about who would be doing this or who would be wanting to do this?
There are many who could be trying to steal from our holy order. It could be, honestly, many of us believe that it's probably the pirates from the tower. Arrow has long been jealous of Klutzman's strength.
Does it always happen while the tower is in view?
No.
No.
Well, there are not very many places upon NoWhere where you can go without being able to view the tower. But we have been hit in lands in areas where the tower was obstructed from other hills and was not visible necessarily from where we were.
$45.
Alright, how much longer should it take you to reach No Name?
You look towards the tower. We're going to the tower, so about 2 hours, 3 hours.
Do you want to finish the escort mission on behalf of all of us while we're here?
Sure.
Yeah.
I communicate with the party via the communicator.
I'm just
We
still.
would greatly appreciate any added security along the way.
I'm still rooted. My
Um,
nice dirt.
So I'm gonna
Not the
contact
bad news
Bruno
stuff.
2.0 and have him basically put a marker on top of their cart to stay in the vicinity.
As you're setting up the arrangements, another one of a shorter, hunched over figure comes up and starts whispering to the elf. You said you were sent by No Name for security? So it's awfully interesting that you just showed up right after our caravan was hit. Did you see what happened?
I've already sent information back to No Name on behalf of the Merchants Guild in order to investigate the issue. But as far as it goes, we did see the two creatures attack you, and a cloaked figure off into the east. I pointed the hill directionally.
And you didn't do anything to assist us?
We were already en route. We wouldn't have made it in time. We were miles away when you attacked.
You're starting to notice that a bunch of the other cloaked figures are muttering to each other.
If you don't want our help, we'll leave you where you're at. But we do want to assist you to getting into the tower if you want.
Oh, please excuse my compatriots here. Trust is something that is very difficult to find upon our lands, and none of us have reason yet to trust that you may not be involved in what has transpired here multiple times. Would not be the first time that assistance we were given ended up becoming more of a detriment.
You guys are being affected by the blood fever, right?
Yes,
What if I could tell
everyone
you?
is.
What if I can help you with that? Then would you trust us more?
Our goddess keeps it from overtaking us as long as our faith is strong.
We can cure it.
That I find hard to believe.
Do it.
Bet.
Do it.
He does not believe you. You can see in his eyes. Make an insight check.
12.
Okay, you can see in his eyes. He thinks you're full of shit.
I'm gonna tap my popcorn bucket 15 times.
I thought it was already broken from our previous day.
No, that goes
Nope,
away.
the day's reset.
They reset.
He's had a full rest.
So I'm going to take a piece of the popcorn and hand it to him, and eat one to show that it's not poison.
I love that purple stuff.
Make a persuasion
Put
roll.
up there.
I'm
Can
on
I
top of
cast
the fucking
guidance on them?
caravan.
They walked up. Can I cast guidance level 3?
Fair point.
You have to touch him. Guidance level 1 is enough.
Guidance level
That's a
1,
D4.
D4.
It's a 1.
Even with my help, you did not hit.
15.
Okay. He takes the popcorn from you, eats it, and you can see a look of shock on his face at first. And then as you watch, the red disappears from his face. The red highlights in his hair begin to fade. And you see him stand up a little bit straighter and looks at his hands. You see him pull up his sleeves. You tell the truth.
We don't
Ask
like.
Blue to scan him.
How much do I owe you?
Your trust. Your
Trust
in
cannot be
allowing us.
bought in such a way. So here, and he hands you 2 bloodsteel coins.
I put them in my. I reach out my hand and
Okay.
just let my arm eat them.
It doesn't.
What?
You hear a voice. I will not eat such a corruptive thing.
Yucky.
The taste of a goddess I do not approve of.
I'm just gonna. I'm
On
gonna
one
do
side
what
of-
I did with her candy when I first met them. Going to drop them stealthily.
Roll for it.
Well, as you're looking at it, you can see on one side of a coin, both coins are showing different sides. On one coin, you can see the multi-headed goddess Takesis. On the other side, you have what looks to be some odd armored creature with like pointy ears and fairy wings that just looks demented.
Ooh, thanks.
It's like a caricature.
They walked up to people against the coat. Oh yeah, I was talking to the elf. Okay.
I stayed behind. Claymore. I'm still rooted.
I'd like to try to sleight of
On my
hand
pure
the coins
soil.
to Eris.
You just hand them to her.
Okay, I'm gonna hand her the coins and say, be careful.
Put them in 'cause I don't like touching those two.
They're incredibly cold and disgusting to touch.
Give him to Fee.
In fact, as you hold on to them, they start to like burn your skin.
Give him to Fee.
I just put them in my dagger holder.
Cynthia.
So you don't like touching blood steel, huh?
I don't, but I'm curious about the creature on top.
Okay. So, then shall we head south?
Yes.
And none of you, and so you're all just following the caravan south?
Let's go at the 2 hours to the tower.
I'm
I'm
gonna
still rooted, so I'm
stay
just not a
with
part of this
them.
conversation.
I do
Instead
too,
of
on
getting
foot.
on the RV, I'm gonna stay on foot.
I'll
with
stay
them.
on foot. The RV should be following, just set with 2.0 Bruno to
I'm also
market.
going
I guess
to
Be out there too. I'll
Um,
fly above them.
I'm gonna offer everyone popcorn because of the 2 rounds of advantage.
They all greedily take it, and
I need the whole party.
There's enough in there
Not
for
the
everyone.
company. No, there's not. It's like 30 to 40 pieces a day, man. You have to realize.
well, there's 20 priests.
Okay, cool. So the rest of you can have a piece of popcorn for breakfast.
I'll take one.
Well, one piece of popcorn, you feel fully rested and like you've eaten enough for the whole day.
And you get
Okay.
advantage on the next 2 rolls, right?
Yep. I forgot about that part. Thank you. Alright,
Gotta love K.
so
K-pop.
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 so on the southward trip, who's keeping watch?
I'm flying above the
I
tower.
I'm dying.
Alright,
Not
Keep watch
literally.
also.
I'll keep
two
watch.
of you can make perception rolls, because otherwise
I
it's too
will.
much.
I have a high perception, so.
Okay, well,
No, go ahead.
Oh wait, advantage. Okay, so the total was
23 total.
16.
Wow.
I didn't roll high.
Wow.
You, as about an hour further down the road, about an hour away from the tower, okay, as you're walking down, you start to see some movement in the bushes about 500 feet down.
Get you
You
stab
call
you,
it out?
stab you out.
Yeah, there's movement in the bushes
Ooh.
Ooh.
over there.
Alright,
Well,
I focus on it. Is
Okay, Gambino.
Make a perception check.
I know, I said
14.
okay, Gambino. Oh.
You don't see what she's talking about.
Can I look?
That's the last person I'll let look for now, but yeah.
Which bush?
That bush. I know.
The bush about 500 feet further down.
Can I call out to the boat figures by the caravan, let them know that there might be movement up ahead?
Yeah, you see them all start preparing spell components and
I'm
such.
gonna prepare.
For my turn.
I'm gonna prepare my arm crossbow to take a shot at the bush before we get closer.
Okay. Alright, so you're basically planning that for what, at 100 feet out, which is your
Yeah.
range? Okay. So, yeah, you're only about a fifth. You still got 400 feet to go. What did you want to do, Fee?
Huh?
Were you doing something?
I was just looking through my spells to see if I have them that reaches 500 feet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you still on top of the RV?
Yeah.
So I'm just.
Okay, so you do hear them call out
I'm
that
just taking my knife out for now.
something ahead. Okay.
I don't get to see if I see it.
No, I said that was enough for the perception rolls. And how about you?
I was up top of the sky and then
My nice soil. The untainted
So
soil.
you heard it
pure
too.
soil. Rooted.
I'm just gonna stay there.
Just gonna stay there?
No, actually, I'm gonna pull out the shotgun. Get ready.
What are you loading it with?
Loading it with scatter.
Shit.
Okay.
Yes, I can get my gun ready too.
So now you're 400 feet away. So I will let two of you make a perception check if you want to see if you can see anything else happen.
You wanna do it?
Nat 20.
Don't forget that you guys have
They're on top. It makes sense.
advantage.
Nat 20 plus my 4.
She pointed to the bushes that were off to the left-hand side of the road, and as you're looking over out of the corner of your eye, in the right-hand side of the road, you catch a little bit of movement behind a stone. Just a flash of red shining off of the morning sun, and that quickly disappears.
I'm just gonna... More movement on the other side. Near a rock.
Is that approximately on the other side from where the bush was?
I had a 14.
What she's describing. Yeah, you didn't see anything.
Alright, so it looks as a possible trap up ahead. Between the bush and the rock, I call out to the cloak figures on the caravan. I'm with them. I pull out my rifle, the assault rifle.
17.
Loaded up with electric and
If
a
you want to use
grenade.
my big gun, go right ahead.
Okay. Frag grenade or one of the other ones?
No with the frag.
How
Okay.
high up are we right now?
You're on the RV. The RV is driving on the ground alongside, so you're about 10 feet off the ground.
I'm gonna unroot myself and jump down.
Okay. Alright, so let's say you're now about 300 feet away.
And I'm gonna go in front as well.
Okay, how far in front are you going?
Not that far in front, but I'm gonna stay in front of the party.
So about 10 feet in front, 20 feet in front,
Yeah, about 10 feet in front.
50 feet in front,
About 10 feet.
10 feet?
How far is the?
So if anything aggroes,
thing
I'll
she saw?
be in front.
Where she pointed
I
it
should do
out,
the same
you're
thing.
saying about 300 feet now?
Man, my gun.
You don't have to. It's
Could I
10
maybe
feet.
form my
That's not.
wings back onto my body? Specifically one.
That's going to take you 5 rounds.
Woo! Okay, I'm pretty sure it's still broken.
Okay, do you want to do that? Make a con roll for it?
Actually, no. I figured it would be an advantage to like see where they were, but no.
Yeah, it also gives more stuff to hit.
I'm good. I can't pull my wings in.
I don't
Okay.
have any.
Don't
200
need
feet.
Put some on me.
I basically
Cool.
tell the driver of the caravan and Bruno to slow down to a crawl.
At 200 feet, you can hear what sounds like a clatter coming from the right-hand side of the road about 200 feet ahead.
Near
I
the
got-
bush or?
Yeah, I failed to roll.
Definitely got activity up ahead on the bush to the left. The right.
Maybe we should
To the right.
stop
To the
cart
right.
and check it out.
Alright, I tell the cloaked figures that they might want to basically crawl up and we'll head ahead just to see what the issue is.
Okay.
I
Tell
asked,
them that they should stop.
not stop, just crawl behind us. We'll,
So the caravan slows to almost a stop. Okay, you hear a bunch of them start chanting. You recognize them as protective spells. Alright, so
Stay behind me.
Like,
the
wait, and I'm
caravan
ready
is
to
now
fight.
175 feet back, and you guys are about 100 feet.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a shot at the bush.
At the bush on the left that you think that
Or the
she
rock on the
pointed
right
to,
where we got
or the
noise.
rock on the right where you heard the sound from?
Well, no tree launcher can't do much to a rock, so I'm gonna build it.
It's a rock.
Okay, so you're gonna take a shot at the bush?
And I refuse to root myself
Alright,
anywhere
make
in this land.
make an attack roll at disadvantage.
But I have advantage.
so base roll.
So base roll.
No.
Well,
With what? My dex?
Yep.
9.
9.
Yeah.
The bolt flies out of your arm. Okay. As soon as it comes out, it turns from a crossbow bolt into a javelin, flies off, and you can see it stick in the ground right behind the bush.
You
Do
know,
I
rock.
hear it? Anything get hit?
And you hear someone yell out, "Fuck!"
Kyle, there's a guy in the
I
bush!
fucking rolled a 2.
Well,
Kyle, there's a guy in the bush! Get the bush! Burn the bush!
I'm aiming down the sight of my rifle with my frag grenade, and I'm gonna try to put it right where he dropped that javelin.
What's the range on your grenade
100
shot?
feet.
Okay.
So,
Is this kind of like when you
Advantage.
shot the wall because
Make
you
an attack
missed your
roll.
shot?
we'll get there. We'll get there. And this is down the sight grenade plus the 4 plus.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like we need to play Wii music. I feel like that'd just be perfect for us.
No.
Okay.
That's how meme-worthy this
Request
campaign is.
song.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I haven't started any music yet. I'm sorry.
So yeah, 26.
Woo!
Burn that bitch!
Fuck him up!
What if these weren't hostiles?
I don't
I mean,
care.
I highly doubt that
I
they're
just shoved a
not,
frag
but-
grenade down
We're
their
evil
throat.
motherfuckers.
So I hope they're not. I hope they're not friendlies. And that's really what I get for the music when I drop a grenade there.
Alright, so I have no idea how well the music sounds over the stream right now because I didn't test it, I toggled them on. But it's at least a good song. Maybe a little bit less.
Okay, so do I roll damage?
40%. Yep, roll your damage.
Take what you need, pal.
I'll get there. Give me a minute. It's been a while. D6. Do I get backstab at 100 feet? Is that...
Yeah, you would get the
I
stealth
need
hit.
lots of D6s. Just hand them all over everybody.
I mean, that works. So.
Okay, 1,
Use the
2,
Oreos.
3... No. More D6s. I need 2 more.
They're at 19.
I still need 1 more. Okay, yep. Okay, cool. Just make sure I have
Go on
everything.
paper.
Sky.
Why?
You're not Trojan or Friday.
Yeah.
I have a valid opinion.
No.
I think Cynthia.
What you doing tomorrow? Okay.
Child.
29.
You're 19. Because
I'm
you just
sorry.
turned
I can give you the
19.
numbers if you want.
I'm turning 20 in less than a month.
That was a lot of backstab.
Get fucked.
What did my dice roll?
4.
Alright, let me update these. Okay, there's a large explosion. Okay, you see pieces of bush go flying up in the air. Pieces of dirt go flying up in the air. Followed by a couple body parts go flying up in the air. You hear screaming, and the screaming continues. I will allow you guys a perception check now to see if you could still see enough of this behind the bushes and crater and smoke.
Nat 20.
13.
I might have advantage.
12.
15.
There appear to be 5 people crumpled around this blast radius that are torn to freaking shreds and bleeding profusely.
They look evil.
They look to be wearing a collection of leather and plate armor. Okay,
They remind me of the people that attacked the last one that we were helping.
nope.
Can I make a call out tomorrow?
Make an insight check. Oh,
Insight?
wait a minute.
30, 20.
You weren't here for that.
Can I give my dirty 20 to someone else?
Did anyone else get a perception check over 15?
I haven't rolled it yet. Okay, no.
Yeah?
I got a 15.
You got a 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. You recognize them as it looks like the same armor and markings that you see from the pirates working around the tower.
Can I make
Call
a
it out.
call out tomorrow?
They look like the pirates who have worked at the tower before.
You
Can I
mean the
make a
ones that
call
look
out
at the shadow?
tomorrow?
Yeah,
Looks
she's right
like
near
it.
you.
Tomorrow, kill.
There's someone behind the rock you can go for.
Tree,
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah,
Sick
for him.
Sick 'em, doggy.
So you've done your move. You've done your move. What do the rest of you want to do?
I guess I'm going forward.
Am I
No,
within
we're
90
going
feet
from
of
there.
it off?
Shoot.
You're within 100 feet.
Can I move up 10 feet?
Yep.
Okay. I want to try Eborg's black tentacle.
A black tentacle?
Black tentacles.
Why?
Okay.
Back it up at that point.
Why not? 19.
Alright, let's see, which one was Evar's?
Where'd it go?
Does that have
Where'd it go? Where'd it
I
go?
went
The
70
90
feet.
foot.
I went 75, so...
Everyone, look for a dice.
I dropped my big
There are
toy.
many dice.
Good looking with this boss.
So, describe to me what that does.
Okay. Yeah. The dark rippling tentacles occupy the ground in a square of 90 feet. Good. You can see the range of the spell for the duration of the spell. The tentacles make it difficult terrain. When a creature enters the affected area for the first time in a turn, or where it begins its turn, it must make a dexterity saving throw, or it suffers 3d6 bludgeoning damage, and is hampered by tentacles until the end of the spell. A creature that starts its turn in the area and is already hampered by the tentacles suffers the 3d6 bludgeoning.
Okay, so yeah, that's a failure for the saving throw. And you said you're targeting the rock, or
The bone.
are you targeting the road like in between? Because it's a 90
Yeah,
foot
the bone
circumference,
in-
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna target the bone in between.
So that would get both sections. So roll damage.
3d6, right? Oh, but if it's roll damage, I put both dice down. Yeah, take it. Kill.
10.
Is it plus your spell wad or is it just the base?
I need to add my shadow and necro, so I need,
2 more d6?
yeah. I know. So, 14.
Well, I was going to say roll initiative, but I don't think we're going to make it that far.
Kyle, kill!
Girl,
Kill!
23.
23.
Yeah, 14 plus 9.
Okay. So, you know those 5 that went go boom?
Yeah.
Okay.
One
The
Smeared.
tentacles take the bodies, pull them up, and you just see as the tentacles wrap around it and then crush as like the blood and viscera just
Hey,
flows
Claymore.
back down into the ground.
That's kinky.
Behind those stones, you hear screaming as the tentacles start ripping apart and wailing upon the ones, you said 23?
Yup.
It's crawling up the back, it's pulled back behind the rock. Oh my
Yep.
Starts trying to
You
crawl
see,
to the road.
you
just
see
nope.
someone an arm reach out as the arm gets pulled back with a scream.
Arm reaches out,
That was
tentacle
over.
cuts it off.
I need bloodshed, okay? Leave me alone.
Okay.
Mario,
Lydia.
you killed none of them.
What are you doing?
I'm not moving.
You hear screaming coming from behind that rock.
Can I just take a picture of this to save for later, please?
Same.
You're taking video?
You know Bruno's recording.
I'm taking
Live
video myself.
Can I?
There were no
with
fucking
the
lollipops.
1.5 in my head, can I send Curtis a message and be like, do you see this?
Yes,
You see
do that,
this?
because Curtis would just be in Toka. Curtis, I'll play Curtis. What the fuck are they doing?
It's
Jesus
kinky, right?
Kinda. Have fun.
Curtis, help!
Daddy Curtis!
Pull it open again. What the fuck do you need my help for? I see explosions, I see bodies, I see fucking tentacles and shit. Just seem like you're doing fine. Fuck off.
Because I love you, Curtis.
Fuck off.
Slaps me through the communicator.
We should have made that an
Just-
option.
You
Just a
can
slight
teleport you
static
by your
in my
communicator
ear.
and smack you if you want.
Make it an option to be able to slap through the street.
An electric hand comes out of your ear.
Okay. So, Lydia, what are you doing?
Nothing right now. There's nothing I can do. There's big tentacles eating everything.
Okay.
There's some that are,
What
like,
would
slightly
happen if I
alive,
poked
right?
one of your tentacles?
You hear
Probably
screaming.
die.
You hear screaming from behind the rock. Do you want to rush down there and see if you can do anything?
The only way
Can you
you'll find
command
out
it?
is
Can
to
you
die.
command your spell not to hurt us?
Can I pull my sword out and
Sadly,
poke
yes.
her tentacle?
Can you do that?
Don't hurt it.
I
I'm
guess.
not gonna hurt it, I just want its blood.
It's not.
Wait a minute!
What are you doing?
While this whole thing is going on, can I
Figure
talk
out,
to
see if I can do
someone for a
anything.
second?
Actually, no, I don't want to do that.
So you're just going to sit there and watch too?
Yeah.
Alright, and Fee, you're maintaining concentration?
What else are you going to add?
Alright, is it start of their turn or end of their turn? not that it really matters. It's just a matter of how a storyline ends.
The start.
Start.
According to the spell,
Oh.
is it at the start of their turn or their end of their turn that they take damage?
Start of its turn.
Start of its turn?
Yep.
I need to talk to you for a second.
3d6.
Roll damage.
It's Shadow Necro, so it's 1d6 or 5d6.
Oh.
5d8.
That's your spell
2
mod.
more.
So you currently hear screaming from behind as you all are watching and listening.
Yeah.
30, 20.
So
You have the most.
after a much more sickening thuds and cracking of bone sounds and odd squishy sounds, like almost like when you like wring out a sponge that's full of water,
There's 3 people that can say my name, right?
and then it goes quiet.
I'm gonna stop the spell then.
Okay.
I cautiously motion the cart and I activate Bruno 2.0 and follow the cart as we make our way up toward the devastation. I check for, and I'm clearing the area with my rifle. Do I see any of the living things?
No.
There's nothing
No.
in it.
So can I do a search to see if
As you're looking around, you even see dead rats and squirrels that were killed by these tentacles.
I didn't know
they
that.
want no fucking lollipops?
No remorse.
I don't blame you.
Way to go.
Can I do an investigation check just to see if there's anything left?
Slapped each other from the corner of my view. It just looks like
Not by
slapped
accident.
each other.
I scared the crap out
No.
of her.
No, okay.
She went behind me, snapped me.
Alright,
You won't get anything since it's not a living creature.
true. 17. I'm
You
looking
find-
for paperwork or anything that I can find that would tell me they are.
You find a total of what you think is probably about 11 bodies.
Okay.
Okay, it's hard to tell for sure because at this point the armor is crumpled into like crushed tin cans around what's left of their flesh.
I glance at Cynthia with a lightly horrified look at my face.
Okay. Yeah, there's
Don't use a pen. That's a bad idea.
nothing salvageable that you can find at this point. Okay, everything's been crushed or strewn around,
Can I make out any emblems and any type of things now slap at them?
destroyed.
Okay.
Listen, Mr. Frag Grenade, that was up to you.
Honestly, I'm not complaining about the situation. I just kind of
Oh,
wish we had some
sure.
information.
I wasn't even trying to kill them, honestly.
checked
I was
with the,
shooting my crossbow to scare the shit out of
I
them.
understand. I made this as a secondary interaction for someone to be able to get a few swings in. So, unfortunately, when you start pulling out high-level spells that cover AoEs,
I was trying to shoot the
so this time,
crossbow.
feast kill
I'm
stall.
sorry.
See,
I'll
I
get
wasn't
that
trying
We'll work it out, man. We'll work it out, dude.
I'll
wasn't
I'll
trying to
kidnap
kill
someone
anything.
for you,
I was
okay?
trying
And then
to
you can
scare
kill
We're gonna
them
like
out
bring
of
over
the
like
bush
wounded
so he
enemies.
could
Like, yo, dude, we got
shit.
this. We got this. Come on, man. Take it out. Take it out.
Good, give it the coup de grace.
Kyle,
Yeah, dude.
Kyle and Xander tackle a guy. It's like, come on, Claymore, get it. Rip his sword out. Come on, do it. It's fine. Look, you just grab here and oh fuck. Oh no.
Grab die. Come on, man. We can do it again.
Wake him up, Ares. Wake him up. He needs to kill him. Come on.
I'm not the only one that can cast Spare the Dying.
Mine is technically a weapon ability, so mine's not a spell.
Yeah,
So you
just
can
shoots
shoot
the
someone
guy
with
in the
a
head.
I just shoot
Don't
someone
worry,
who's
he's
dying.
fine.
Yeah, well, that was a holy weapon.
Well, we also have, well, technically by the video it would be this. Like, yeah, that would be the best lineup. Because Miss Druid here also has certain things like that. So you're not the only one now, Eris.
I don't have my spell list yet.
I gave you your spell list. I printed one off for you.
I thought you did have one.
Can I make?
Don't tell me you lost it.
Can I make a?
Oh, there it is.
When you lose your spell.
I don't have spells. I just have a whole page of them
How
here.
would that even
I can only
work?
go up to
Oh my
level
God,
1
if you
spell.
lost your spell pages,
Wait, no, I leveled.
would you lose your ability to...
Abandoned.
Oh, no!
Right, yeah.
I can go up to level 2 spells now, can't I? Because I leveled.
I don't know. I'm not sure. What level to it are you at this point?
It's written down on the
Hey,
newer
can you have Blue
ones
look
because
over
you
this
updated those, but
Oh yeah, the ones I'm not printing off
By the
until
way,
See if I can,
next session.
if you can figure
Yeah.
out if there's anything wrong with this.
By
Alright.
the way,
so I don't know if I leveled
I
up.
have the
So
entire party's blood. I have the entire party's blood.
So,
I just have healing word
It looks like it's on the tongue.
and cure wounds.
I don't
I
trust
can have
you.
Blue.
I wish I could create and destroy water in people's lungs
She
though.
tried to be with the dude before.
that's mean. People are 75%
Where's the
water.
blood?
I don't
Just
trust you.
put it in your lungs.
Yeah.
You've taken joints
Or
from
just
me
destroy
before.
all the water in their body.
But then I knew I was
Yeah.
gonna get turned.
I tried doing that and you told me
That's
no.
not a
When I tried
prank,
putting
that's
water
actually
in someone's
effective.
lung.
That takes a lot of focus and control, and you didn't make your rolls. You know, that's a difficult use. You know, anyone can hit a door with a hammer, okay? But it still takes a little bit of skill if you're going to put the nail into it. Especially if you're using a great hammer
Smash the floor completely.
without smashing the floor.
Oh, look. Hunters.
Anywho, so, yeah, are you guys going to clean up the mess or do anything about it? Or,
Nope.
I mean, I check with the cloak figures if they're familiar with this group or if they can give us any information that I don't currently have.
yeah, the pirates.
They work for the Jackal Boy, right?
Probably.
I
Yeah.
want to say that I want to call Bolus and inform him.
Yeah, well, no.
But Bolus is mad at me.
It's now about 8 a.m.
That's not.
You know what? Yeah, let's call Bolus. I'm gonna walk away, like, a couple feet away, so that...
Morning.
Hi, Bolus. Sorry for earlier. So,
Yeah, I'm fucking awake now.
I'm sorry about that. So, we are transporting the rest of the transport that I told you about earlier and protecting them.
Alright.
We just came across a group of pirates that were trying to,
So
jump
it's the
us.
pirates that are stealing it.
Yes.
At least in this interaction.
Fantastic. I can actually update a report now. See, now that's when you call
Hang up.
and give...
I checked in with Xavier. Did he
Bolus is
respond?
gonna be so
yet?
pissed at me by the end of this mission. Where's
yeah,
Bolus?
there's a slight text message. Received. I will look into it when I have a chance.
Bolus has a stone out of crystal, so he can't get the pictures. I asked you to tell Bolus.
I've already hung up on Bolus.
Okay, that's fine. I don't want to piss off Bolus. He's cool.
The funniest part is, this is how I am on all my missions. Bolus is completely used to this.
You also get another message from one of the Warforged maids that you dropped off.
At the Empress.
Yeah.
Out of the Servaloids, Servisoids, or whatever.
One of the butlers
I immediately open it up.
Yeah. Sends you a video message of the princess.
Okay.
You open it up?
Yeah. I activate the party so
Oh, I
they
love
all
this song.
can see it too. Because it relates to them, I imagine. Unless it's me. Is it me directly or the party?
To all of you.
Okay, cool. So I activate to everyone.
check.
But the only one that it was sent to was you directly.
Okay. I don't know who she is, but
The princess.
So,
yeah, I got that. Well, I know
the
that.
message comes through. These butlers are fantastic. Okay, look around. And she starts, and she has the video, and you can see the gray, dingy walls are looking bright and shiny. Okay, artwork that you saw that looked like it was decayed and like covered in moss and stuff, and you couldn't tell what it was. You are now seeing our brilliantly shined silver and golden statues that are innately carved. The hallway that she's standing in is gorgeous. Like one of the highest end castles or citadels you've seen so far. So, this is fantastic. I just wanted to send you a message saying thank you so much, and we would greatly appreciate any updates in your search or any other information of the land, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Apparently, I can communicate with you through these things. This is freaking awesome. Oh, and thank you, whoever taught these things to cook. That was the best meal I've ever had.
Isaac.
Click.
She might know more information about the mechanical snakes that attacked the convoy at first.
I think
Mark might not know nothing.
and raise suspicions, so I think we should wait until we're at least back in person.
That's agreeable. Alright, sounds good with that. Are we about an hour away from the tower now, at this point?
Not even.
Not even?
You can see the edges of the tower. You can see the guard posts around it. As you're approaching, the elf looks over at you. It's like, we got it from here if you want to go. We appreciate the help with one of the ambushes. At least we have something to deliver.
Yep, apologies.
They're all cured of blood fever now, right?
Yeah.
You're
Feeling
welcome for the blood
fantastic.
fever too.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the RP now.
Alright, I say my goodbyes to the, I asked that elf's name.
May the goddess of Takesis be with you. You hear that quite a few times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every time that you hear it, it sends like chills up your spine, and you can almost feel a discomfort in your arm.
I'm just gonna run to the RV.
Alright, after I say goodbyes to the cloak
Full
group, as they're all
on,
set,
like,
we head back to
flash
the RV.
sprinting through.
So, generally speaking, we are right here now at the tower for the map. So, do you want to beeline straight for the bone portal at this point? And then we can check out that? Do you want to make that the next excursion?
Yes.
Or we go north toward the temples? That's our basic options right now. This party chat. So anyone can give me input.
Vibrating.
Alright, so basically from the tower, I guess we're going to head...
He's a bitch, alright.
We're going to head east toward the bone portal, I guess.
Okay.
So that's...
Who's keeping watch?
Please don't. I'm still flying, I guess.
Alright, make a perception roll.
I'm eating weed popcorn.
21.
9.
17.
You don't notice anything, but after about 3 hours of traveling, he does. Bring up my own copy of the map here. Alright, so as you're traveling to the east, you see the woods and hills that are to the north. And about a couple hours in, as you look into the north, you see what looks to be a stone keep. And you notice that there seems to be some activity around this stone keep.
Hey guys, there's a stone keep with activity. Should we go check it out?
Weed popcorn,
so-
I'm sorry.
Where is it? Oh, you mean, is that... On the map that I have, is that lost?
Nope. Look above north, lost to the southwest of Lexicon.
That marker?
Yep.
So this is location.
Can we go there?
Let's
I wanna
go.
go there. Let's go there.
You want to head there?
Yes.
So it's going to take you another roughly hour to get there.
Okay.
Alright? Then...
You saw that?
You're being more hyperactive than I normally am.
I have ADD.
And I have ADHD.
This is not a competition of who has the worst
I have
syndrome.
depression and anxiety. Are we gonna keep going? PTSD.
Moving on.
Bipolar.
Alright, so, anything you guys want to do during the, walk?
I wanna look at the hand.
The hand?
The hand.
Alright, make an investigation roll.
No.
Can I message him?
16? It's a decaying hand that seems to be imbued with corrupted bloodsteel.
Can I look at can I do a medical check on it?
I'm gonna ask Kyle.
You would
for
see
one
the
of
same thing.
rounds.
It's a detached, gaunt hand that looks to be under the conditions of malnourishment. Further inspection looks as though the bones have been broken multiple times. They're very calloused as farmer hands.
I'm gonna pull out my Starmantium dagger and cut off a piece of one of the fingers.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna ask Kyle for a health syringe. Or one of those things that you have.
Healing tablet.
Healing thing that you stab people with.
That's connected to my collar.
Give me one.
Go to your house.
It's connected to my
Give me
collar.
your arm then.
Okay, it won't work on dead flesh.
Just give me your arm. So I'm gonna test what happens if I inject the piece of the finger that I cut off with the healing thingy. And see if there's any effect or anything that goes on with it.
Nope. No effect.
Just a dead hand and it's going to approve. Leave it alone.
Just stab it with my Starmantium dagger.
You have hair count.
In my fingertip. Flowers. Sure.
Thank you. Can I take the 2 blood seal things and see if I can tell what the creature is on the back of it?
What on the back of it is?
The creature on the back of it. There was Takesis and then there was no other creature.
Make a history check.
Yeah,
I
make
made
an
that
insight check, 'cause I
too.
remember,
I didn't
because
even
I
touch
remember
it.
the descriptions of that creature.
The wind.
No,
And
there's
be history.
Yeah, history?
Creature has a creature.
like 2 investigate. It's not hard.
12.
It's fine with that.
15.
It's attached to him.
Could I
Yeah.
take
No, literally attached to me. Like, it's not.
You can't do it.
I'm tugging on it, so I'm looking
Pop your arm
at
off?
it.
Make an attack roll.
Oh. No, I don't.
I'm gonna take a
I'm sorry, 1 sec, B. As you're tugging on it, okay,
I didn't
your
know.
audit take
Ow!
take 11 points electrical damage, and you lose one of your magic check charges as your entire body is covered in electrical charge that zaps him for trying to detach the Magicel from your arm.
Ow!
You saying ow
We're
for?
not even
What
in
the
battle and I
fuck?
have to heal you.
You do realize I can feel that shit. It's in my arm.
So you can feel stuff?
I'm a
I wish that we
Bioforge
took a
avatar.
picture
I
of
do
the
have an
little
organic.
creature on
I have a
the
central
floor.
nervous system.
I'm gonna send it to Shadow.
Yeah, no, I'm not a
If it's
robot.
familiar with it.
Sends back a answer pretty quick. Oh, you got one of Pootsman's coins.
Who's that?
The pixie.
I don't want this.
I'll take it. I'll send it back to the shop for notification. Yes, it's the Pixie, one of the heroes from Legend.
And I'll just talk to Shadow.
Yeah. Oh,
Crack
yeah.
knuckles.
It's a bastard.
Can we kill
I
him?
take it. I take it.
I'm gonna look at Kyle.
I gave you before.
What is Kyle right?
What is that?
Can we kill him?
Honestly, I kind of feel like that would be great for the land. Pixie, he's kind of a fallen hero from the heroes. I heard about him when, the first time we were in No Name. I heard about him from the Legends. The heroes of Legend here are the Pixie, the Jackal Boy, your mother, and a mage that's went missing. As far as I know, the mage hasn't been heard of in a while, but the Pixie's in charge of the temples up north, the Temple of Champions right about here,
Let's keep them.
Temple of the Masters. And then the pilot, the Jackal Boy, he's the one that seems to be causing the trouble and looks to be the ones that set up the raid for the boat steal.
We'll kill everyone but Shadow.
Keep them.
Because Shadow's
No,
actually
but-
pretty chill.
Are you trying to get me to block you?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I just go back to eating my weed popcorn?
Of course.
In the corner.
Curious question. Could you have Blue scan me
Sure.
for corruption? I want to make sure it didn't go up.
You haven't even touched the ground.
No, but she has corruption because she wouldn't let me try to take it from her.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's how I get my beast rage.
No, you got more corruption.
Not to mention the fact that
Oh yeah, and
none
then
of
you
us
tried
passed
taking
out.
and then you tried taking it from yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't affect her at all. It just made us both pass out.
Yeah, but I'm
You want to keep your corruption, that's fine. I know how to handle my corruption, so.
He's not afraid of it like you are.
I love
I just don't want you to take it all.
Why?
I'm taking
That's
the
how-
1% you got from the blood fever.
Yeah.
I offered to do that, and you said no. It's mine. So
Yeah.
keep your damn corruption. I'll keep my
Did we
clean
get the corruption out of me?
No, you never let me try.
Well, didn't you give me the archon?
Actually, at that point,
I don't think it could.
I don't know.
I don't think popcorn
I
could.
don't know, actually. Okay, so I have blue scan everyone, I guess.
Don't scan me. I don't want
We're
to know.
kind of just traveling, so it's not like we really have anything to do.
Yeah, we're not doing anything.
Don't scan me. I don't want to know.
Okay, don't scan Xander. I mean, blue is just a robot.
He said it right.
Xander?
No, he said it wrong.
Xander.
Xander.
Oh, it's Xander, not Xander.
You know this.
The X is a Z.
No, it's an X.
But it's pronounced like a Z.
No, it's Xander.
Like a Z.
Like how Xander is spelled.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
My merch's name, I don't even remember how to pronounce it.
I know how to pronounce my first name.
Why do you
Your name
remember that?
Nightshade. I did choose Nightshade as my last name.
Yep.
Right?
Morrow Vigil. Yes, it has a last name.
Xander did this.
Aristonte, Servos,
Okay. I got an Assassin's Creed 2 flashback from that. When Ezio's like, I'm Ezio at the door. Just like 5
Everyone
minutes.
just
It's like,
calls me Ezio.
it's like, oh, he's done. Not as bad as Altair, but.
Yeah, right.
You guys shake this table like crazy.
I'm
Every time I'm trying to adjust something on here, you guys shake the table and the whole screen just goes all over the place. You know, because personally, I need to take a short break because I could really use a cigarette.
Okay.
really hot right now.
Yeah, so I am going to put us on a break. And I am currently, this is what I was trying to do as everyone was shaking the table like crazy all over the place.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Map.
I'm a map. I'm a map.
Shut the fuck up, Lydia.
I'm a map.
Sugar peas. Drop them.
Okay. It's cupcake time.
Put a blanket on it. Put a fence around it.
Alright, so I will turn up the music and leave this playing in the background for a little while.
So all they can hear is the music.
What?
So all they can hear is the music.
Oh yeah.
I told you if you put your face close to mine, you'll lick it. Okay, your nose out the way.
Yeah, what? We're back.
Her map's gone, but mine's not.
Oh, then maybe you need to refresh your screen.
Ah, there we are.
So, welcome back. That was a nice long break. I hope everyone feels refreshed. Alright. So, you come up to this keep that you guys found out in the middle of the woods. You find that as you're coming up to it, you're surprised that she found it because the trees that are growing up around it obscure it from most angles except from the sky. So, and there are no trails or roads leading up to it at all.
Do you want to detour here, or do you want to head to the gate? The
I
bone
want to
gate?
go. I want to check that out.
Yeah, we do toward here.
Alright, so...
Do you mind if we take a break real quick, just like for me to grab something?
What is it?
Right now we're technically invisible flying down.
I need to
Well, you're
grab.
not invisible,
Not
but
invisible.
I need to grab some trees
So,
Why?
for my botany friends.
Tree.
They're curious.
what do you
on
mean
names.
tree? Like from the tower?
No, like from the trees.
No, so you need foliage, wildlife,
Trees
tree
around
life.
the tower.
Yeah, well, just anything, anywhere, nowhere.
Foliage.
Alright, so
Nice.
after we handle the keep situation, you can hack down a tree.
Okay.
Okay,
I
that's
don't need a
fine.
whole
Everyone's
tree,
agreeable.
but yeah.
Well, whatever, that works. Okay.
I just gotta go
So as we're approaching the keep from the air, I guess, is there a clearing that we can set down, or at least get closer? Or is it what's the spaceship? What's the distance around? Is the keep right up to the tree line, or?
thank you.
back.
Yeah, I forgot to get rid of the be right back message. Yeah, as you get closer, do a perception roll. And yes, you can touch down outside of it.
Okay. Yeah, 11.
14.
Well,
Okay, so sounds about right.
15, I
So-
Do I hear a 15?
Wait, was I supposed to roll?
No,
no.
it was just the ones keeping watch. So it was technically only supposed to be Curtis, but I mean Kyle, but
That's what I was keeping there.
few other people want to watch too. That's fine. So,
I'm rooted.
That's all.
the only one that notices would be Xander. Okay? You can see that on top of the walls, there appear to be, you're not sure how many, but at least 5 guards that appear to be holding what you would recognize as rifles.
What?
And you're not sure what else.
I let the people around,
Rifles. Wait, rifles.
I couldn't tell. All I know is that there's at least 5 people
Let's
on the
throw
top
Claymore
of
into them.
the wall.
Kyle immediately calls Curtis. And, I'll be it. Yeah, I'll
God,
be
if you
both
trust
sides of
me,
it.
I will aim you at one of them.
Curtis,
Just
we-
be ready
Kyle,
with your
what's up?
weapon.
Curtis, do we have any, soldiers, current, report soldiers stationed inside of a keep outside of the tower in, No Name right now?
The only ones we have out in No Name right now are the ones that you delivered over to the Emperor and at the cinema, and oh yeah, and a few down at the Thieves Guild, the Merchants Guild, and 2 over at Xavier's, another 2 over at the bar next door, and there's like 3 more around town that were rented out.
Nothing north of the tower and nowhere as far as you know?
Nothing out of No Name and nowhere.
Well,
Alright.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also got a message from the cinema. 2 people showed up saying that you gave them a job.
They're just some people that we helped out, needed some help, figured that they would be making use for the locals.
Alright. Well, right now they're set to sweep floors, so
Fine with me, works great.
the Reforge are better trained than they are.
Don't doubt it, but you know what, they were in a tough strait, figured I'd help them out.
Great video, by the way. Thank you.
Glad to help out.
Made me laugh this morning. Anything else you need?
No, should be good.
Alright.
Thank you,
Well,
Curtis.
have fun.
Will do.
Yeah.
You would
I don't.
No, no.
I'm good.
I'm joking, don't worry.
Alright. So, you touch down outside the tree line.
Yep.
Okay, so that you won't be in view of them either.
Okay.
And they're about, I want to say about 1,000 yards away. So a decent distance.
Alright. Newbie.
You mean Claymore?
I meant newbie.
Yeah, listen, Miss calling me newbie for my first 3 sessions.
I know I meant.
Off.
There's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk up there? And we'll cover you from the back.
Yeah, I want to go check it out.
Do you want
Alright.
to come with me, Claymore? I'll babysit.
Sure.
Alright, Xander. Anyone else
I
want to go
won't
up?
steal any kills, I promise.
Anyone else want to go up with the main group or hang in the back?
I'll be support only.
Alright.
Back up.
Mono, do you mind heading up?
No, not at all.
Alright, much obliged. Yep, me and Cynthia and Alice will cover the back, you'll head to the front. We'll leave the RV here and just head up on foot. Alright, so we start making our way up toward the
This is the original Betty Monkeys.
As we're
Well,
walking out.
original.
yeah.
Because the monkeys didn't wear anything at all.
As you have everywhere.
Alright, so Claymore's at the front.
I offered him some popcorn.
Shouldn't I be in the front?
Oh, not special popcorn.
Well, no, not special popcorn, just regular weed popcorn.
Shouldn't I be in the front?
No, you three are.
Okay.
You three are
I'll
walking.
take the lead-ish.
Okay.
Because I can take more damage than you can.
Did you ever heal me?
You're
Well, there were no trails.
No, we're just aiming toward the tower. 3 in the front, 3 in the back. I'd say around
Are you trying to be stealthy at all?
up to the front, guys. I'm in the back. What are you guys doing?
I'm just shooting popcorn.
I'm trying to
Alright.
be stealth.
So, who's being stealthy and who's not bothering?
I'm trying to be
Wanna try
stealthy.
No.
Where's stealth?
We're 15 feet behind the front 3, so they really, if they're stealthy, we'll be stealthy. If not, no.
I'm not trying.
Okay, so no, they're
Going.
Yep, that's why they're
So-
in front, we're in the back.
So, she's being sneaky, and who else is being sneaky?
Yeah, we'll roll so.
Basically, are you trying to sneak up
Nat
on the
20.
tower, or are you just like
Plus one.
pounding up?
You get that
Nat
20. So yeah,
He's gone.
You're hiding
21.
ducking behind trees. Okay.
Meanwhile, Xander's just walking up.
Xander's walking up.
As
there,
you're
this
walking,
disappeared.
Xander, everyone's disappeared. Okay, and it's like you're walking alone. And as you are walking through the woods, all of a sudden the ground beneath you bursts into fire, and you hear "Halt!
I stopped.
Who be thee?"
Just a wander.
What brings thee here?
Curiosity. I mean no ill will.
What are you curious of?
What this establishment is.
What establishment? Who sent you?
Myself.
You don't like to answer questions, do you?
I'm with no one.
Does anyone want to try and figure out where he is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Alright,
What are you
perception roll. It's a DC 17.
17 plus my 4.
18.
failed miserably.
21.
You can't figure out where the voice is coming from.
20. I rolled a dirty
What'd you roll?
21.
You have no idea where the sound's coming from. Did you want to roll? Did you roll for it?
What is it?
DC 17?
Perception for DC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No?
It's okay, we're
I
Alright.
rolled 18.
I rolled a dirty 21.
So the three of you can see that about 50 feet away from him, up in a tree, there's a guy in what looks like a gingham suit that almost perfectly blends into the tree, aiming a rifle at him. Okay, what was your roll?
18.
Roll a history check for me. See if you remember.
17.
It was one of the models that you saw on your day away in No Name for sale outside of the Mages Guild by that dwarf.
I remember that. Wow. Holy shit. Can I call out to him?
No!
You're gonna come out of stealth?
Can I stay in stealth and call?
If I die because of you,
You'd have to make another stealth roll at disadvantage.
I was just
Also,
gonna
I
do
just
one
told him
thing.
that I was
He's in a
alone.
tree,
Oh,
right?
true.
I
How
just
far
said
away
that I
is here?
Like I said, about 50 feet away from you guys,
Do not
and about
please not get me
20
killed.
feet
I
out.
just said that I'm alone.
Yep. So we'll stay stealth.
Like,
We did
I was
confirm.
just gonna make the tree kind
Go,
of.
go,
there's a
go.
gun
Don't
pointed
do
at my
anything.
face.
Let the conversation take place. If you go, then you might be
Let me dig myself out of this.
Hey, we're here if you need us.
So, how did you find out about this location?
I had no idea it even existed until I was wandering by.
And you just happened to wander into these woods?
I was going to the Bone Gate.
And what of your friends
What friends?
in that flying box?
Oh, look, the flying box.
You don't see it, it's parked behind the woods.
Oh my.
So,
I mean,
are you
no
actually
ill
looking up to the sky and saying, oh, that flying box?
will. Yeah.
Oh no.
Are you addled in the head, sir? Has the blood plague been that horrible to thee?
No. I'm actually not affected.
You appear pretty infected. You're
Not
covered
infected.
in your bloodsteel armor. Okay, with a bloodsteel arm. Okay,
I'm going to... No.
okay. From another person's point of view, your flesh is basically bloodsteel.
Is there a
Okay.
tree near me?
There's trees all around you, within about a 5-foot vicinity from you. You're in the middle of a small woods.
Did any of you let me know where the guy was? By the way,
Did we make a perception
three
check?
of you,
No.
the three of you, the
We're in stealth. We can't communicate with you without.
Beep beep.
fucking 1.5 communicator in the head. Am I the only one that remembers this shit?
Me,
You
I don't think
created
you
it.
Somebody clip that.
And I don't think it's 1.5 in your head.
It's a 4. But anyways, regardless. Alright, so I will text him that there's a figure in a tree 50 feet from him inside the communicator.
Okay.
So now you know where he is. Well, he can't say it, but I just texted him.
They can't hear what we tell them.
Not on the communicator, yeah.
Yeah, so just.
Why can't you just say it
Oh,
to me?
yeah.
Because we're in
Stealth.
stealth! We can't speak!
It's a telepathic.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
yeah.
That's
So,
telepathic stealth.
She could use telepathy to do
I'm
it.
just,
Okay. You guys both have the communicators where you
Can I like
silently-
send them a small like what I'm seeing?
You get an image of a guy in a gingham ghillie suit.
Gilly.
And
Yeah.
it
It's
gets
one of those G words.
Yeah, so can I,
Not like there's a huge
now that
difference.
I've seen the picture of it, can I
Have
actually
the
draw
same
him?
name.
With a secondary picture that shows your location in reference, so you can see where he is. And as you look up, you can see the glint of the rifle barrel pointed at you.
I don't mean any harm, sir. I'm just a wanderer.
Make a persuasion roll.
You'd better not fail that.
15.
The barrel lowers slightly. Then on what business do you come?
I'm just wandering. Full of curiosity and wonder.
Then I would recommend you wander in a different direction.
Yes, sir. Can you remove the fire so I can leave?
It's not all around you.
Oh.
It was just a burst of fire at your feet. It was a warning shot.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm literally not even gonna say anything to them. I'm just gonna turn around and walk back to the RV.
Okay.
As he withdraws, I will follow.
As he withdraws, the guys that you were watching, the guy with the rifle, okay, he lowers his rifle, but you can see him watching every step along the way. And the ones that are watching can make another perception roll if you want.
8.
11.
Yeah, you don't notice anything else.
19.
So,
These are Warforged, right?
No.
As you look over at Xander walking out, and you're looking around, you see that there's about 15 more that you can see in
I
the
was
trees
about to search for
with
heartbeats.
rifles pointed at them, and at one of you ended up getting a stealth roll that was under 15.
I think it was me.
Yeah, I think it was you.
Okay.
A tree move.
Then-
They kinda noticed.
And you also see there are 2 rifles that are pointed at Morrow.
They're just sitting there. All of a sudden they see a tree move. They're like, this popcorn's fucking weird from that movie theater, man.
Can I roll the sense heartbeats?
So, there's actually
Yep, that would be a
15 more
perception
that
roll.
I could see
So-
within the trees.
As I'm
There's a
walking
lot. It's
out,
not
18
what
plus
combat
my
as
four.
I'm walking, I'm gonna send you a message with the communicator.
You can sense that you are
Feel
surrounded
free
by
to
at least
continue
25
searching, but I'm pretty sure they know of
human
your existence, number
noise
one, and number
heartbeats
two. I
that
don't
are
know how
all
many there
very
are, but I'll be on the
carefully
RV. Have
measured
fun.
and
Tiffany
calm,
caught 15 of them in the trees.
as well
Go
as
ahead
a
and back to the
good
RV.
30 or 40 small creatures
Exactly.
Which is at least one.
around you.
So
And
generally
you
speaking,
also
this is
pick
not
up
a
the
combat
heartbeat of what
situation.
seems to be a large
Just
beast.
honestly, if we got hit with
That's
15 fireballs, it would
about
any of us.
30, 40 feet off
Especially
to your
me.
west.
Well, the other
I'm
thing is
just
they
gonna
get stealth
very
bonus. If they're rogue, they get backstabbed. You realize
Send
that's
them what
happens?
I'm
Like,
seeing.
that's
every
my
one.
thing.
What's the worst that
It's not
happens?
seeing, it's
Talia
hearing
goes
and
back to
feeling.
Curtis.
Well,
So you
it's-
can't really
He
send
can't
them
do
that
He'll
information.
just die.
Unless you format it in a completely different way.
15 guys in 15
I could
different
format
trees.
it like what I'm seeing, but like the heartbeats and their locations, couldn't I?
It would take you 2
I mean,
rounds
sure,
to set up that type of
And
a
what
visual.
about flying metal box? Oh, that
Good.
flying metal box.
We're thinking about heading out because it's like
Yeah, I'm gonna take my time and just kind of put that together.
Are you deranged?
Okay, so you're walking away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slowly look. I'm gonna kind of just like look up, kind of like pretending I don't see them, and just kind of like look around and then start
You
walking
don't
away.
have fire bullets, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you don't see any of the other ones. Okay, you only saw the one. And that's because he spoke. B, you see as she's walking away, a couple of more switch their gaze over to her and follow her with their rifles as she walks out amongst them.
But I can see their heartbeats.
Yes,
Don't do
but you don't
anything
see them
stupid.
directly. Even as you look around, you cannot see them in the tree.
But I know their
But
rough locations.
You know where they are. There's that whole difference between you can hear that
Humanoid.
there's
I know
something
there's humanoid.
scraping behind that tree, but you can't see it or know what it is exactly.
Now, out of game question, would it hurt myself or would I get more corruption if I tree hopped?
No. Not that you know of.
Why bother? We're walking back to the car.
Be quicker for me.
They'd also possibly think that you're trying to do something and attack you of
They'd
suspicion.
be shooting a tree.
You are a tree.
I'd be in a tree.
They'll light the entire forest on fire.
If we're just all walking, it doesn't make sense. I mean, we're literally
She could, and
400 feet.
they're not going to do it. Honestly,
Might be able to hit it.
a tree person disappears into a tree, they're going to start looking around for her. Which means that they might notice the rest of you.
I'll
And
just walk
it's not a
down.
big deal either way. You're only a 5-minute walk from the RV.
I mean, they all have rifles. I don't know why you guys tried to stealth.
We didn't know they were there yet. It was alone.
They haven't noticed anyone except for you and her.
But
I was being kind and
Uh-huh.
very, very.
and they were nice.
you should have still.
There's no reason to go violent. They were nice. They were respectful. They have private business.
I was being
So,
truthful. I'm full of curiosity.
So once
and
we
I
get back
meant
to
no
the
harm.
RV, I get
If they
back into the
Would
hover
that have
mode
been
and
put together by
Big
them?
different story.
Huh?
Would the whole image be put together
Yep.
by them? I'm gonna send it to everyone.
You guys get an image that shows like a topographical map of the area from your guys' GPS, and on it are marked over 25 heartbeats
Jesus
that
Christ.
she's marking as humanoids that were all aiming at him.
well,
I'm a good distraction.
And then the one beast one in the distance.
Yeah,
wait, what?
and a large heartbeat of a beast.
Is
Wink,
that coming
wink.
from the general direction of the keep?
It was beyond the heartbeats of the humans.
So probably where the keep general location was.
No,
Oh,
to the
probably.
west of where you guys were.
Was it underground?
No, it was above ground.
Then it's not my favorite.
No, I know.
No.
I wouldn't have been able to see it if it was underground.
Basically, if you took a look at that map, which I dropped off my screen here a moment, but there we go.
I mean, from where the marker is.
So, if you go on the marker, and if you go due west by about a square on the map, that's where you're going to see that it is.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay, that was roughly where it is. So it's past the group of them, a little bit further away from the keep, but it's some type of large creature.
So it doesn't look connected to the keep at all.
No.
Alright, so I call the party together as we get back to the RV. Party chat.
I'll walk in and just kind of.
Yep, so there's a heartbeat out to the west. Hi.
Interesting, isn't it?
Hi. So there's a heartbeat out to the west of a beast, so we can head our way east to the, Bone Gate. Headed to the Bone Gate?
Yeah.
I have no mind with it.
Alright.
As long as I don't get shot.
So, basically, once we get back to the RV, get an elevation and start making our direction east along the main road. At, let's say 60 feet elevation, just to give us some height.
Okay.
I'll keep watch. Did Xavier get back yet to the message? No, not yet. I saw that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He told you he reviewed it and took a look at it.
Well, I'm really curious if he would be like those tinker gnomes that I met. Like, I'm wondering if it was pretty evident it was them.
He hasn't said any other information.
True. Okay. That was my adventure in the Money Guys, but think fascinating.
Alright, so, anything else? Or are you just heading east?
At the moment, I believe we're all just heading east, down the main road, toward the gate.
Okay. So, who's keeping watch?
I am.
I'll root myself up top.
I'm looking at the
Alright, the
window.
two of you make perception rolls.
1, I'm blind as bad.
21.
After about 3-4 hours of travel, you see up to the northeast a town.
There's a town.
Is that
Okay.
the
It
town we went
looks to
before?
be, the outskirts of it look to be ruins of what was once wonderful stone buildings. And towards the center, you can see a lot of it's been rebuilt, where it's an odd collection of like a stone building, and then like the other half of it looks like the stone fell off, so they rebuilt it with wood. So it's kind of like a weird hodgepodge of stone, wood, metal, blood, steel, and other materials that you can't quite make out what they are from here. And you can see that there are 2 large towers that don't appear to be actually rebuilt. In fact, they seem to be pretty original, but extremely in good condition, let's say.
Well kept.
Okay, almost like they're new, but they're the same architecture and stonework as you're seeing the decayed buildings below it.
There's a town, and it's kind of destroyed in some pieces.
Is that gate?
You could just say you share what I just said to it now.
Okay.
Do you remember that last time we were in No Name, the first time we ran away through Ravenloft? Is this gate? No, it's not. Different structure.
It's a town that you guys never saw
Okay.
when you guys went out.
Okay, so this is before gate on the eastern path. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. If you look on the map, it doesn't take a whole lot of thought to realize that it's Lexicon.
Oh, okay, because I thought we were much south of that. Oh.
No,
okay.
you weren't following the road. You just decided to go due east
We were
from where
following
you
the main
were,
path east.
and you were at the tree line right about where that mark is.
Oh, so it's Lexicon.
Yep.
Oh, okay. This is a small city I've seen on the map above the gate. Do you want to just bypass it? Alright, we'll head to the Bone Gate.
Yeah. So who's taking the next watch?
I will take it.
I'm not trusting.
Okay.
That's my nat 1.
27.
How bad?
1.
Haha, the curse falls upon someone else!
Maybe you should try the marble dice.
See?
See if the cursed dice came back to you.
Yeah. Can I actually keep a watch
19?
out too?
So the cursed dice like you again.
So, dirty 20 then.
Okay.
On what, Faye?
I was gonna ask if I could keep a watch too.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna, for like stuff like this, we're just gonna keep it to 2. Otherwise, if everyone makes one, someone's gonna make it, and
Yeah.
everyone else follows with it. There's gonna be some kind of difficulty. And trust me, in abandoned, it'll be much worse.
Yeah. It's my goal. Please.
I got 27, so.
I'll give Toka points, I swear. I have 103.
Toka point for the blessing, and sure.
How do I do that?
I don't know. I want to see if I got the message.
Just like, do a scratch ticket or something.
You shouldn't. You're not supposed to be able to do. Oh, something came up. Has redeemed blessing to player of choice. Okay, so it did pop up. But it doesn't say anything to me as to where it's supposed to go. So, yeah, you can use that dice.
Did you roll a nat 20?
Dirty 20.
All right. So as you're traveling along, you start to see the mountains rise ahead of you, and you can start to see where the road is bending down to go south instead of just the east-west direction that it seems to be going. And as you come up to the road, are you turning southeast or are you going straight into the mountains?
We would
Probably head.
southeast towards the Bone Gate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Southeast
so you're going
is
to
good.
turn southeast right around the road and follow that? Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if you guys are going towards that hill and the mountains and then going south from there, or if you were
No, well,
angling
The
down.
main path.
Okay.
Southeast.
So, as you're traveling down, with that kind of a roll, you notice a small herd of odd red creatures that seem to be walking around a small sconce of trees with a little oasis pond next to it.
I tell the party.
Small red creatures.
Well, from this distance, they look to be small red creatures. It's a good 300 feet away.
They're probably not small creatures.
Can I make a history check for all red creatures that would be in this area? I can't.
It would be more of a nature check
Nature
to
check.
see if you could define what they are.
30-20?
Dirty 20? You've never seen blood red water buffalo. But except for the color, they're water buffalo.
It appeared to be just a red water buffalo.
We should be it. Let's see what it tastes like.
Might be like a blood bug, but like.
Yes.
By the way, did you collect plant samples and stuff while you were going
I
through the woods?
forgot.
Water buffalo. These are
Totally
real
forgot.
blood buffalo.
Make
It
a
might
roll
be.
for it. Intelligence, to see if you remembered.
3.
No, you didn't remember.
So did they, Baltinus and the, Aviary Mono ask you to bring back, more than just plants,
No, just plants. That's what they specialize in.
Do you want to check out these weird buffalo?
Sure.
Alright, so I take the RV down to near the clearing to investigate.
Okay. See, I think you still have a Zark ball, if you wanted to.
I can shoot.
Okay,
over
so
something.
you guys are about 20 feet up off the ground, I'd say, and about 50 feet away from these creatures. Moving silent, they are completely oblivious to you.
Could I just kind of pop out of the RV and just elevator down into the woods?
Are you trying to do it quietly?
Yeah.
Make a self check.
Dead.
How far did you say we were from them?
5 feet up in here.
You're
50
about
feet away.
20 feet up, and
14.
you're about 50 feet away from them.
14.
Okay. Yeah, they don't notice you.
There's a herd of
You just stop quietly.
Yeah, if you shoot one,
Is there a
they'll
baby
run.
anywhere? Like a baby water buffalo?
Make a perception check.
Reroll that. It's crooked.
16?
The youngest one you see looks to be about half the size of the adults, and it looks to be a young male who's just starting to grow his horns.
And you just see me walk out of the RV and just start elevating down.
Anything else want to do anything?
Are you guys good if I shoot one?
I don't have anything.
I just want plants. You just hear me say over the communicator. I just want plants.
Alright. Do you want me to take one out? I have a rifle.
I
for it.
want to shoot one.
He has a shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah, you do it. Kill it.
Alright.
Pop
You gotta
its
walk up.
head.
You gotta walk up. Yeah, come on,
Pop
man.
its head.
This time, come on, man.
Over
Double
the
headshot,
head.
headshot.
I cast
You can do this,
guidance
dude, you can do
level
this.
2.
So you add a what?
D4.
Sense
Nope, that's one higher than that, I think.
D6.
D6.
So you add a
Level
D6 to
two.
your roll.
At level 2, no, that would be a D8,
So add a D8 to your roll.
I think. Yeah.
Diamond.
If not, it is
Oh, there you
now.
go.
The Rambus.
1.
So
1?
1. And they add strength to it.
Dex.
dexterity.
18.
Damn,
Nice!
Yep.
Alright, so I take it you're using a slug from this distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, roll damage.
Which one's that one?
The slug, I believe, was D10.
D10. Yep. And be plus your dex, so D10 plus 1.
That's fine.
So yep. That one. Nope. That one. Yep. So 7 total.
7 total?
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Just a nice shot to the face.
Pop its head.
Okay, so
Sorry.
this is your first time shooting this thing. You sit there, you take careful aim, and it's a sawed-off shotgun. Okay, so you take careful aim, you shoot it, it flings up and like smacks you in the face because you weren't expecting the recoil from it. Okay, anyone that shot a sawed-off knows that thing has a bit of a kick to it. Okay, and
Like that old lady from
as
Chewy.
your vision clears, just quickly enough for you to see that water buffalo you were aiming at, okay, the side of its face disappears with a spray of red coming out the other side, like
I'm
almost like
guessing
a
I'm just hitting like
water
the tr-
balloon smashing against the wall.
Am I hitting the tree line just as I see this?
Just as you hit the
Oh, yeah.
ground.
Dude, you killed an
Okay.
NPC. That was
It
also
doesn't
a
even
harmless
have a
animal.
chance to make a sound as it just collapses.
Oh, we have to
Oh,
I mean, I'm not
fuck.
gonna eat it because it
And
might be infected.
The rest of the herd takes off.
Not towards me,
Can
right?
I jump down next to the buffalo? The dead
Yep.
buffalo?
That's about 50 feet away,
With
so
my wings out so that I don't,
okay, so you're
tomorrow.
flying down to it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, you get down to it.
Pencil diver.
Fuck off.
Okay. What are you doing, Curtis? Kyle.
Yeah, what is Curtis doing right now?
He's in a shop, but handling business. Kyle is
Getting pissed off with the merchant.
very much so.
He's trying to talk him down.
No one's there to talk him out of going postal. Like, this isn't a good thing.
No. He still has Bruno.
Yeah.
I should send Poppy there,
Okay.
too.
And his secretary.
I should send Poppy.
You did not 20 that.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Yeah, what
I
were
was
you
gonna
doing?
just take a paw shot at one of them as like kind of a joke, and I just nat 20.
Okay, roll damage.
Is it sneak attack? Do I get? back
Yeah,
up? Okay,
it's
then
running away.
Do I even need to? Because I literally
I'm
do.
just curious how much
Dude,
damage
if
you do.
Okay.
roll, like,
I'm gonna say it's in my
Okay,
rifle.
How do you want to do it?
I don't need dice. I
Your
literally
base-
am going to do at least 9 damage without
Okay.
rolling any dice.
Your base damage will take out their 4 hit points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Much so. So I want to put it directly through the heart of one of those things at just a rifle shot, one-handed
Like
behind the back.
Hunter game
Full
style?
size buffalo, water
bam.
buffalo is
Remember when
charging,
Kyle didn't
and
want to
then
kill things that didn't need to be
trips,
killed for no
collapse,
reason
face
because he
first,
wasn't, like,
grinding to a
like,
halt.
killing these
Dead
things.
on, dead right away. It would be an instant
But he
death.
doesn't need to
In the name of
so
Rod, and thank you.
realistically,
Do a quick bow.
it's the murder of an innocent person.
I'm just gonna take out my
You feel a slight presence.
I hold my holy weapon.
I'm just gonna take out my my shears because I still have them actually, and I'm just gonna start collecting like plants, like leaves and like twigs and fruits.
Alright, make a nature check.
For the sake of Mon. Totally thank Mon for it.
Okay. You reach the water buffalo as she's doing this.
It's dead, right?
Oh yeah, it's
I'm gonna pull
there's a
out,
hole like this going through its head.
I'm gonna pull out my Starmantium dagger and start cutting pieces off of it.
Your Starmantium dagger is like a scalpel.
I know.
Okay, it's going to take you a while to cut off any type of decent piece.
That's okay.
You're quicker off using your sword. You can just hack off pieces.
Okay.
Think of it like a butcher.
Yes.
A butcher doesn't go in there with a scalpel to butcher an animal. They go in there with a meat cleaver.
I really don't want to think about a scalpel cutting anything, please.
As to reason.
It's
Okay.
the one type of wound that makes me queasy.
14.
14.
Unless it's
Alright, you get a collection of about 7 different plant types, all of which are heavily corrupted.
I'm just gonna package it and send it.
Alright, make a constitution check.
Saving?
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
I'm just
Because
gonna
I have a
grab
plus
my
8 for my
sword.
saving throw.
You see that some of the corruption starts to ebb towards you, and then your natural essence pushes it away, refuses to allow it to take hold again.
Yeah, so about
That's
that
right,
blue
bitch.
skin.
So,
I'm gonna send it with a note too,
I know,
like,
the
careful.
plant issue right here.
You're butchering the animal.
can I just lift up one of the big pieces and go, Claymore, this is yours!
Okay. As he like
Hell
the
yeah.
rump roast thigh leg of it. Okay. And what do you got all doing?
I'm gonna
Otherwise?
start
I'm
walking
watching
over
from the
after I
RV
send it with
sitting
a
on the edge of the
letter of caution, being like, it's corrupted, be careful, it might try to leech onto you.
Okay.
I send Blue to scan the unfortunate blood oxen buffalo thing, and I send Blue to check it out. Just have him do a full scan, I sample DNA, and get the results back to Gren.
98% corrupted water buffalo.
I ain't eating that shit.
I am not eating that.
As you're cleaving through it, there's nothing that isn't red. That doesn't have a slightly gritty texture. And as you're looking at it too, you start noticing that there are like spines growing out instead of a mane. And patches of its skin were scaly. You're finding bits of bone that were actually transmuted into partial metal.
Can I talk
And
to my patron?
the water buffalo's skull, as you're cutting it apart, water buffalo usually only have flat grinding teeth. This one has 2 rows of canines.
Can I talk to my patron?
Next round. Let's let everyone else do something first if they want to. Okay, you reach the body that he is chopping up.
Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna back way, fuck that, nope.
Okay, someone has PTSD. What are you doing?
Oh, there's no way I can really catch the kid one now, so I guess I'm just staying up in the RV.
You could make an attempt. They're not all that fast.
No.
With a perception roll, you could see if you can even see them. So.
30, 20,
Oh yeah, they're only about 100 feet away.
I can't throw something that far.
No, but you could catch up to them through a shadow jump.
Okay, can I do that?
And just,
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do? Try and like
Activate
ambush
the
him in the
zone.
shadows,
Yeah, I'm gonna
or
make
come out of the shadows and make a Zark ball attack.
do that.
Yeah. That. The
All right. First, I want you to make a dexterity check.
That was 6 right now.
That's 9.
13?
Okay. Now make an attack roll.
What would I add to that?
It's a dex attack. For a throw.
That's sick.
10.
That hits. And I failed my roll. So
I have the baby.
the ball bounces off of the cat, off of the young bull, and in a pop sound, disappears. And the ball falls to the ground.
Can I drag the ball?
Yep.
The shadow by the
And
hand?
it feels a bit heavier.
I'm gonna go back to the yard.
You now have a corrupted water buffalo cap.
No.
Anything else anybody wants to do?
Do I get a message from the botanists that they got
Not
it?
yet.
Not yet.
I'm gonna just go up to the RV.
And you're going back to the RV.
What about the other?
I'll go back to the RV.
I was
Superman
in the
style.
RV just scrolling through whatever.
Now you can talk to your god or patron. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask him, would you want to try this?
The flesh of the land who is taken upon the natural essence of that corruption. I've eaten many of.
So you're new here?
This is the type of thing is my natural diet.
So does that mean there's a lot of these where you are?
Not so much these, but others. Those who have been corrupted will occasionally get the urge to come to certain locations where they will be then fed upon.
But you can't give me any urge about where you are.
I don't know where you are. Never mind where I am.
So if we give you, so
You don't hear any of
oh,
this.
I know I don't hear any of this. But like at a game, would it work if you gave me coordinates?
He doesn't know where he is for reference of location.
I mean, he was trapped underneath NoWhere before NoWhere was NoWhere.
And before he was, well, he was an infant, so he has no reference point. He can't say
Little
town.
baby.
We babe.
He may have all the memories of whatever he came from, but doesn't necessarily mean
We'll
that.
look over at Xander. Hey Xander, curious question about your patron.
What about it?
Does he have a heartbeat?
I don't know.
I might be able to find him if he has a heartbeat.
He's underground.
I might be able to find him if he has a heartbeat.
We don't know where he is. He's somewhere underneath NoWhere.
Yeah.
The plane of NoWhere.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Maro, so are you planning on trying to listen to every heartbeat in NoWhere to try and locate where this creature is?
How Morrow becomes the DVD.
How Maro goes completely insane and head explodes.
You can't even deal with your own memories.
You guys are so mean.
Wrong!
I'm just trying to help.
Don't. Just go.
It's not enough
This is
of
the
an
camaraderie of the Reclaimers, man. You can always depend on your friend
No.
to make fun of you. Because this is
The problem is, Sky, is that even then, even with my token network and everything I can do in the network, there's no way for us to track this patron without knowing where exactly the locale is. And with no history reference points, it's tough. I mean, I think that the best
Why
way
don't
is
we
probably
get
look
sense of tremors and have this patron move and set off tremors?
Can't move. It's trapped under a seal that restricts its movement.
movement. Yeah. No.
Anything.
But it communicates with you.
Yeah. Telepathically.
Yeah, I know
Because
that.
it's a telepathically
I know.
creature.
But that means that the seal does allow from some movement because it can talk to you.
No.
And it feeds.
Talking telepathically doesn't mean you're moving.
It does on the spectral plane.
If you have an idea to find my patron,
I'm
I
thinking.
am open to it. But all of these things that you guys are saying, I have thought of and have confirmed to me will not work.
He's asked a lot of questions so far.
I gather as much.
He's done a lot of research and a lot of high investigation rolls.
You have to realize, every time I investigated, I was doing like between 16 and 20s, so...
Yeah, remember, Xander's been trying to figure this out longer than Kyle's been alive.
I'm not arguing there. I'm not playing a good time.
I understand her. She missed a lot of it. We were here for every time I did it.
Okay, so moving on. Okay. So as you turn to... So, are you going back to the RV and taking off again and shit?
Yep. We'll head
I'm
back
carrying the... Can I carry the carcass up to the RV?
You have a bag of holding. You can just start shoving it in your arm.
I just opened my square 1 foot bag of holding and just...
Using a sword, chopping it up to 1 foot
Just
cubes.
chop head, leg. Claymore, this is yours! Cuts off a little cube. Maru, you can have
I
this.
don't want
The
it.
head doesn't fit in because of the horns.
I cut off the horn. I want the horn. I want the horn.
Okay.
I can use the horn as a weapon. I can
It's
use
also the one that
arm.
Curtis killed, that Kyle
You can
killed.
also attach them to your
It's also the one that you killed. No one's touched that
Yeah,
one.
you know there's a corpse laying in that ice shop that's like...
Yeah,
Yoffie Marauding?
Go cut it up.
No, I'm gonna fucking leave it.
Why?
Because I don't give a shit.
Erase the food.
It was nothing to Marauding.
I don't like hurting innocent creatures for no reason. You killed a creature.
It was
and
nothing
then
to Marauding.
offering to Maraudin that you're gonna leave in the middle of a cursed land. You treat your god great, dude. Your god must really love you. You could at least
Because that's just a perfect show of craftsmanship.
Yeah, you killed it. Good job. What are you gonna do with it now?
I'll take what you want from it if you want it. I don't care.
Stay there and rot.
I don't know why they can make a big shit about it. I just shot it because I decided.
It's corrupted. I couldn't care.
Well, I need to test it examples. That's my whole thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna like, just
Yeah,
like,
I would extend it.
Dude, it's raw.
you know what?
I'm a tight one.
Just because I
It's
can,
raw.
I'm just gonna play with like some plant life I throw out of my hand. Just, you know,
Okay.
I'm
Make a
bored.
constitution roll.
15.
Okay. Gain 3 hit points. And normally you'd have to do a
Corruption check.
yeah.
Save
That
by
would be the word.
corruption.
Okay, but for you, you just hear a small laughter in the back of your head.
I'm gonna just laugh out loud for a
So
second.
you hop back on the RV, I take it, right?
Still giggling to myself.
Okay. And as you're heading southeast, you can see the outskirts of Gate Town that you remember. Okay, and it's still super depressing.
Yep.
Except for the fact that outside of the gates of Gate Town and across the road, okay, you can see large mechanical constructs. No. You're not close enough to see with any detail now.
I activate.
As you get closer, make a perception roll, and this is open to anyone that wants to.
I activate the RV's image refraction, so going stealth.
Nat 20.
16.
18.
I don't see it.
Nat 20 and my plus
The
5
two of
makes
you
me
can
plus
see the
5.
town, okay? And there's something in the road, but you're like, well, what the fuck?
What a nice
Okay.
town.
You guys look over.
what a
You can
wonderful
see that
place.
there are 5 large mechanical constructs in the middle of the road. Each of them, one of them looks like the Badger. Another one looks to be like this large spiked ball that's like split open down the center, and coming out of the center is these 2 arms with huge buzzsaw blades. Another one, okay, has like a tank treads on the bottom, and it's just a huge hammer that looks like it's big enough to squish your RV in one shot.
So as we approach, do I see any other people, creatures?
Oh, the hammer. And then the next one that you see has a huge tank on the back of it. Kind of looks like a bug with 8 legs coming off of it.
Yeah, spiders.
And you see bits of fire coming out of the front of it.
Fiery spiders. Fuck no.
And the 5th one, you can't quite make out what it is. It's just a large box. It's a large box. But you also see that there's at least a dozen humanoids walking around these machines.
These were not here the last time we were in gate.
No.
Do they seem to be covering the gate?
Covering the road leading to the gate. Beyond it, towards the gate, you'd have to make another perception roll. Because remember, the gate's a bit farther back from Gate Town.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
13.
You can't quite make out any details. It's too far away.
And it appears like they're in a defensive formation across the road, stopping people.
It's a roadblock.
It's a roadblock. Okay. Looks like that's the problem at the gate, is that there's a roadblock in front of it, everyone. So, it doesn't seem like they've set up a roadblock. It's not no names, so I have a feeling they're aggressive. If we approach, we expect an attack. So
I mean, it's filled with paladins, right? It's filled with paladins last time.
I'm not seeing them right now. I mean, humanoids, but it doesn't look like...
These creatures from the corruption and...
Cynthia,
Yeah.
need your assistance. Can I, as we go closer, we're going in stealth, can I make out any leader, any type of guy that looks to be in charge, visually? I can use my scope on my rifle if I want to get an enhancement, to see if I can see who might be in charge.
Roll a perception.
17 plus 9, a lot. 27, 26.
You can't quite tell who's in charge. Everyone seems to be talking to everyone else about equally.
But it doesn't
And none
look
of
like...
them have any special adornment. They're all just cloaked, black cloaked figures walking around these machines. You see a couple that look to be about gnome size, and a couple that in the rest of them seem to be human size. Few you can tell from here are tieflings, but you can't really tell about the rest of them because they're heavily cloaked. President Trump officially acquitted.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It was
I know,
expected,
sorry to
right?
interrupt game and stuff, but
It is expected.
if my understanding of politics is correct now, because he was impeached, it makes his last term considered null and void, but all of his decisions remain active because he was acquitted of any criminal charges, which means that he technically does not count this as a served term, which means he could run for another term.
Because the majority of
after.
the term had already passed
Yeah.
before the original trial, I think that
It
there's...
negates it. If you had had it acquitted and
He
then
can
it thrown
run in
out
2020
within the first
and
Oh, that's
3
first
years,
tactic.
if he gets elected, he can then run again in
Yeah.
24.
our first 3-term president, because the opposing party
Unless
decided
they do
to
this
try
again
and...
next term, and he gets acquitted again.
Like, keep the system going, keep the system going. 20 years later, same president. You know, there's gonna be like 105 sitting there being like, I don't know.
I don't
Term
think anyone's
8,
gonna
Trump
vote for
dies
him.
in office.
No, you'd be amazed. He'll probably get reelected. No. It's statistically speaking,
At that
likely he'll
point-
get reelected,
At
regardless.
that point,
of
Trump's
this.
been downloaded into a refresh.
Can we have that in the game somewhere? There's a reforged named Trump and everyone just hates the dude.
The Trump avatar?
TRNP.
What, the Trump avatar that actually runs the business right and does good for everything, but he's a dick so everyone hates him?
So, would you... Hey,
And
Sky,
how much better that would be for the school system?
would you rather Pence?
I don't want to go to camp.
Because everyone
Yeah, people
always
want to
hates
impeach
on Trump, but wait till you have Pence.
I don't want to go to
we
gay camp.
need Hillary Clinton. Because we
that.
all need to be assassinated for speaking up.
Fuck that. Abandoning our fucking armed services.
And you gotta remember to promote to kill all of our children.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll accept that.
Fucking America's going
Okay,
to
I'm
shit,
probably gonna
man.
have to cut this all out of the YouTube one because
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when did we start getting political?
No, don't worry.
Just happen.
We'll clip
You can't
this.
be charged with treason anymore.
Oh, I know. We'll clip this and say like political bad nowhere.
D&D goes from D&D to a political debate in 2
Yeah,
minutes.
check out our channel for the hidden gems that we don't put in the
Check
name.
out our second channel. The Reclaimers do politics.
Not safe for stream.
Did anyone comment on that?
No. Alright, so now that we know roughly what's going on, let's take a break so we can throw dinner in the oven.
Yeah, Scott and I would talk
Literally
about
just talking about that.
Okay. And,
Kindly, I only brought it up once.
alright, so... Alright.
I was just gonna tear it out.
Alright, so we'll be back after we start our dinner and take another break. 15, like 20 minutes.
Imagine making more pages. Just the entirety of these.
No, there is no.
Alright, so we are back. Thank you for being patient with us. There we go. So, yep, you see these large war machines blocking your path with people coming across, and you're still about a mile away. So, and you've put on the cloaking already. So, what do you guys want to do?
Cynthia, I need you to send the sending spell to one of the men up there.
Okay.
I need you to do a roll for me for the stealth shield.
I just rolled a 2.
So a total of 12.
I'm
Okay.
slowing down, so we're not going full speed. We're just kind of gradually approaching the gate.
Yeah.
Did you make it?
13.
Did that make a sending spell casting?
You don't even have to roll for a sending spell.
Oh,
It's who you sending it to, though.
one of the individuals.
It has to
walking
be
by me.
somebody that you can either see in detail, or that you are familiar with, or that you've contacted before.
Can I see the guy?
Any of the individuals walking, or do you have to get closer?
Make a perception check at disadvantage from this distance
Are you sure you want
to see enough detail for a sending spell. No. You cannot see enough detail to send a proper sending spell.
Alright, so I say that they're going to stop us, and they're going to appear to be blocking the gate, so should we head on to the ground path and approach them peacefully, or how do we want to handle it, party? Honestly, it doesn't look like they're going to let us go, but we can either approach it peacefully or go in guns blazing. If there's any casters among them, it would be tough for us to get past them, and they're only a distance in front of the gate. So, I mean, even if we have to get through the gate.
I thought they were on the other side of the town from the gate.
They're blocking the road. It's a roadblock.
Yeah. And so we'll just fly over them.
I'm not sure that the stealth shielding will cover it for the entire duration. We can try. That's what the party wants to do. What does the party want to do?
I'd rather sneak by and
Right. Giant hammer that can crush the RV in a single swing.
Well, if you're gonna try and stealth by it, then make a stealth roll.
So
All of us?
No.
Alright, I increase the elevation. I go up to about 100 feet above them. Clearly, I mean, is that cloud cover? Is that even an option?
Yeah, there's minor cloud cover.
Alright, I'll try to get high enough into the cloud cover to use that as my advantage.
Okay.
Activate full power on the stealth shielding, and then just try to go above them. 15 plus my
Plus
stealth.
10
Plus 10, so it's
for the
25.
vehicle. Okay. Yeah. So you make it over and no one seems to notice you.
Can we get a visual on the gate now?
Yep, you can now see the gate, and there is definitely something in front of the gate. It appears to be a odd construct mixing together bones, blood steel joints, and looks like it has bones mixed together of like a dragon and ogres and some other large creatures. I only say dragon because that's the skull that seems to be used for the front of it, and a dragon skull is pretty easy to recognize. Other than that, it has 4 large legs, about 6 arms, and it's all bone and red steel. Blood steel.
I activate the live stream and connect it to Xavier, and I asked him, what is that?
Blood steel construct. Good luck.
Maybe you do.
Alright, so it looks like there's a blood steel construct in front of the gate itself that's behind the 5 constructs and approximately 7 individuals.
Yeah, the 5 constructs are now about 500 yards back.
Okay.
Okay, and this construct is directly between. There's no way to get around it to the gate. It is right in front of the gate.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You don't have reinforcements like that.
Fences on there.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're not soldiers. They're guards. Alright, so there's no way to get past the construct into the gate without taking out the construct first, and if we engage the construct, we'll probably notice the other constructs and the
Devil's
individuals up
Carnival.
front.
Awesome.
It's not like we can be quiet about it.
Or maybe we can cast Dispel Magic on it.
It's a blood steel construct. I'm not sure it's entirely magical. It's not like the animated armor sets we fought in the arena.
Do you know that for sure?
Not entirely, but I can guarantee it wouldn't be as effective. It actually has a.
Huh?
It actually has some type of systems to it. It's not
You think
just
the
an
spell would
element.
magic would work? So, what are you trying to judge it on? An Arcana check? Okay, make an Arcana check. You don't know. You don't know. It might. It works against golems and stuff like that, and this appears to be like a type of golem or magical construct, but something this large, you're not sure that you'll have enough power to dispel it, or it'd have to be a high level dispel, if it's even running off of a magic and not.
So it is a golem?
What, me?
Like it's
Oh,
I'm giving her the
Poppy!
information she got off of her roll.
Just walking
Katy Perry
the RV
playing.
out of nowhere from the workshop.
Katy Perry's playing.
This is Enter Sandman.
It does kind of sound like Katy Perry.
It did.
It did for
No, you can't do that.
I did not change the song.
It's a mixed song.
See? It's a mashup.
So it could have Katy
So did
Perry.
she just walk on because she likes playing these darn battles?
No, but we could say that you get an image of Poppy dancing in your head.
Oh my god.
That actually sounds
See?
Yeah, see?
I think it's a good mix.
It is really good. I've actually had this one. So,
I think it's
right now the
hilarious.
vehicles and stealth were approximately 100 feet above this construct. I mean, the spell magic might work, but unfortunately the size of it, it'd be very difficult for it to work against the entire creature. If we need to get into the gate in order to get the Emperor's daughter's contact, then we gotta get past it.
I know the ideas of doing that without alerting the entire town and fence stuff.
I'm not saying that looks very good at the moment. If we need to get past the construct. Not sure if there's anyone else inside of the town on behalf of the soldiers or guards.
We always have to
There's
nuclear
There's no
auto.
paladins. This is not fine. They definitely blockaded
I
the
can
whole
go
thing.
into the shadows and go chat.
It's the nuclear option.
What was it? It was the uncontrollable magic thing.
Wild magic?
Yeah, wild magic. The nuclear option.
So
That is
you...
not a nuclear option.
Wait.
Of course it is.
So you want her to use her wild magic wand
On the
that
golem.
affects her as well.
Yeah,
If something
Again, that's
kills
why I
something,
said.
it's gonna happen to me too. I don't want to die yet. I have children to make.
that is epic. Anyways,
That's why I
Actually,
said
has
it's a
anyone
nuclear
talked
option.
to Zach and Sky yet about
I
abandoning?
haven't, but I've been planning with them. So.
Okay. So when we take a
Everything
break for
you
dinner
do.
and I stop the stream, we have to talk to you about something.
you two. Just need to live.
We have names.
And McDaniels.
Sorry, you're out of the loop on this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I apologize.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he told me a little
Vaguely
bit about it.
mentioned
Okay.
So at least you're familiar.
Anywho,
Zach.
so what are you
And I
guys gonna
kinda
do about
got
this
him
construct?
So
So
party.
new generation
Basically, so honestly, right now we're hovering in the RV. We can park the RV and enter on foot. We can attack with the RV itself. However, any type of conflict is probably going to notify the other constructs and the individuals down the path.
So do you think you can talk them into letting us go first?
We can try to address them respectfully. Unfortunately, if they don't like the Emperor, whom, well, technically entering Ravenloft on his behalf, or his own behalf for that matter.
No.
Well, if it'll get us past them without fight, maybe. Well, then we need to handle them as a threat, because that's the only option we have. Otherwise, they're not just going to let a bunch of people travel by their blockade.
Such a goody two-shoes and lie for once.
What would you lie and tell them that would make them walk
That
on
we need
fight?
to go to Ravenloft because I used to live there.
I don't
And
think
I want to go visit my
they don't
home
seem to
world.
care about something like that. That won't work.
How do
Is
you
there
know
another
that?
way we can get in the roof?
Not from here.
The only entrance is that on Saga.
I mean, hypothetically, we could use the token network, but the unfortunate thing is that it's not that we know exactly where we come out on the other side. And actually, but this gate is also a problem for the Emperor, and that's who we're on the behalf of. So we should probably handle the problem. So it's either we attack from the RV, we enter on foot, or we approach the group at 1,500 feet up and just talk to them and see if they'll let us go willingly. What are the options of the party? Take a vote if we have to.
Walk up and talk to them.
We should go up and talk to them peacefully, because I feel like if we try to go up, like, offensively, we're gonna die.
You could wish your baby brother not to be such a little fat thing.
He's not fat anymore.
Okay, I've learned new things.
So all the things that I accidentally left behind been taken care of.
So the party's decision is to approach the group up front and talk to them. Is that right?
Well, you know, I guess.
I'm gonna just watch you in the shadows so I don't have to.
And I'm not wasting his phone call.
Okay, so what are we doing here?
I guess I'm bringing the RV back up, going, because if we come up from behind them, they'll attack us. They'll feel they're being flanked. They blockaded the road up that way. So we'll enter from that way. Is that the agreement?
Backtrack.
We'll backtrack, and then we'll approach them from the front and try to make ourselves open. We'll be traveling on the ground, and we'll try to talk to them. Is that agreeable?
Yeah.
Alright. So I
Okay.
fly up high.
Not quite what I expected, but you know, I'm getting used to not.
Yeah, we don't do
Expect
things
the
our normal
unexpected.
way,
I
ever.
was half expecting you guys to just try and charge underneath it with the RV and see if you could barrel your way through.
There was options, but hey, everyone, I let the party vote.
Alright, so you're going back to the.
Yep, so
Main
we'll
road.
head back to the main road. I'll go up about 400 yards in
Make
front
a
of
stealth roll.
If we don't fail this. 11,
Yeah.
30, 19.
You're good.
Oh yeah, okay, 21.
Well,
21.
anyway. Alright, so how far down the road are you going before you land and come out of stealth?
About 400 yards. Giving them plenty of time to see us coming up the road. No attempt at stealth.
Pretend like we were just driving.
Driving up the road normally.
Pretend we're wanderers with severe curiosity.
Do you just like that 20 something?
No.
Not one.
Yep.
So they didn't see us.
No, so they don't think anything of the fact that you just randomly appeared 400 yards in front of them when when you could see a good 4 or 5 miles down the road.
Okay, well, I was thinking at the road.
You know, so all of a sudden there's a RV 400 yards away and nobody thinks anything of it.
Oh, that's normal.
We approach the group. Once we get within a safe distance, I'll stop the RV.
So as you get about 500 feet away from the roadblock,
Yep.
3 guards step forward. Okay, one of them putting an arm out. The sledgehammer robot thing pulls forward a little bit. You can see from now that this thing's a good 40 feet tall. The badger one is about 25 feet tall. The spider bug that's spitting out flames is at least 40 feet tall. And that's if it was down on the ground. With it lifting up on its legs, you're looking at about 40 to 50 feet.
I don't like the spider.
Okay, I
I'm
come to
gonna
a halt.
voice that.
I
Just like,
follow
I
the
don't
commands.
like this
Once
spider.
I'm halted, do they approach or do they want me to get out?
Who's going out to meet him?
I will.
Not me, there's a
I'll
giant
go out.
fire-breathing spider out
So-
there. Fuck that.
Okay.
So 3 people.
Alright.
Yeah.
Halt. What's your business?
Looking the passage on behalf of the Emperor to Ravenloft.
Gateway's closed. Turn around.
What cause do you have to weigh on the business of the Emperor? And I've shown the tokens that I have from both the Thieves Guild and the Merchant Guild on his orders.
I don't answer to the Emperor.
Who do you answer
The
to?
gate's closed.
Who do you answer to then? You don't mind me asking?
I answer to Our Holiness.
The man on the bloodsteel coins.
The pixie.
Our Holiness.
I'm not familiar. I'm not from around here. I don't know what his name is. I'm afraid.
Then you definitely will not pass. The portal is blocked as per order of His Holiness and as per the tower.
Do I know if he's holding this here?
That's the 60.
Make a guess, and you're probably right.
So I can hear all this from inside the RV, right?
Yeah.
Can I
How-
contact the princess through one of the maid forges?
You don't have
the
access. You don't have any of their ID numbers
How
or
far are the
anything.
guys away apart from each other?
They're each about 5 feet apart from each other, and with the three that are in front of you that are about 20 feet in front of you right now.
So they're within
And
15 foot
then-
radius.
Behind them, about 25
Alright.
feet behind them, is the war machines. And you are in range of the hammer and the flamethrower. You're pretty positive of that.
Yeah.
You have enough engineering.
Or you could go back to the RV and call Princess.
Yep. No, the minute that they don't seem to let us go, I just motion everyone to head back to the RV.
I'm already still in it. I never
Yeah, you
got
never
out.
left.
There's
Okay.
a fucking
You wanna sit there
flamethrower
and
spider
fight,
out
or
there.
you
Fuck
wanna-
No,
that.
Yeah,
I'm going
okay.
on.
So we'll head back to the RV, just bow to the guys, and make our way back.
Thought so.
I mean, I could just pop up my assault rifle and drop a grenade.
Alright, so of the three of you that came out, make a perception check.
9,
Nat 20.
She gets it.
17.
14.
There's no plus 5, so 25.
Alright. You hear under your breath, stupid travelers. And then something about non-believer and trash. Okay? You hear, how dare these stupid travelers come and try and usurp the word of our Lord. They don't even know who he is. These unholy, unwashed, uncleansed, barbaric creatures should just go into the waste and die.
In Black Butler.
Just remember that you have a telepathic crystal in the back of your ear that you should tell us if you're going to do something.
Hey guys, I'm gonna attack them now.
You all hear that in the back of your head.
You're gonna do what?
Within range of the war machines?
What?
Tell me when
Is
it's
the
my
RV
turn.
within range of the war machines?
Not that you can tell.
Well, I think we're basically gonna just. I mean, out of the range of the hammer yet, as we walk back to the RV.
From what you can tell, it looks like the RV is just out of hammer range.
Yeah.
Yay!
So,
About flamethrower.
if she's going to attack, I'm gonna.
Not sure.
Well then, so.
Bad.
Wait till we take out the fire.
Oh yeah, is this like the map for our game or?
It could be.
Yeah. So,
That's why I.
you are seriously going to attack?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's the moment. So, to be clear, I want to go into the shadow to shadow strike them. So...
Alright, then let me ask you a question first. Okay, just so I have it clear. Because everyone else is walking back to the RV. Okay? And you were walking back with them. Are you getting into the RV before you decide to do any of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're all back in the RV as you get the message from Sin. I'm gonna go attack her. As she disappears into a shadow.
You're gonna do what?
Fucking what?
So, while you're disappeared in the shadow, okay, we'll do like a next round, you get to do something. What are the rest of you doing upon hearing this and seeing her disappear?
Kyle drive.
I'll be fine, I'm just gonna kill them and then that's it.
I'm just gonna say, what's the point?
We could just go kill their kindness. Their holiness.
Hurt them where it hurts the most. Let's kill their deity. I'll put
Let's
closer
take a
on
moment to
deity.
potty chat before any of us do an action.
I want to kill
I
them.
can see how this could work.
Hmm?
I can see how this could work.
No, I mean, we can kill them. I mean,
We
but
just need
honestly,
to strategize a little more.
just before one of us all of a sudden starts casting
Even
magic.
if she's just a distraction.
I think we should talk about trying to
I can distract
at
them.
least stop those war machines from being able to do anything first. Like, find a way to EMP them so that they can't function and hurt us.
20 to 50 feet tall.
Do they have legs?
Some.
Yep.
The
The
spider
spider?
does.
Spider has legs.
Could I
The
knock?
badger has legs.
Could I knock the spider
Are
down?
they all bone?
They seem to
It's
be.
standing about 40 feet, 5 feet tall.
I mean, the
on
creature in front of
8
the gate is a
legs.
golem.
Could I use
And the
an
legs
entangle
are
to-
about as wide as you are.
Whereas
Each.
the things in
So I
front
could
of
use
the
entangle and one of its like pull it back.
For one
See, why
leg.
not?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and then you'd have a disadvantage saving throw if you're going against something
she
gargantuan.
has the stats.
Giant. You could try.
So I mean,
Can I use the cannon on the RV?
Go for it, my friend.
I thought she was gonna tell me to go fuck myself. I was about to
At that
fight.
point, I was gonna ask.
I was like, oh damn, we getting real fucking
Okay.
feisty tonight.
So, now that she's disappeared, let's go around the table and narrate and see that discussion down. Lydia, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stay on the RV, go get my hair ready to be ready to go.
Okay. What are you doing?
Getting on the cannon.
Getting up on the roof on the cannon?
no, but you have a cannon.
What are you doing?
My cannon.
Kyle.
I'm kicking it with the door. Like getting ready at the door to
I guess.
charge.
I guess we're going to attack. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I mean, we really don't have any
You
other
are.
choice.
Your RV is just barely out of range of that mallet from what you can tell.
I'm gonna stop
And
backing up the
there's a
RV.
possibility that you could be wrong on the range.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop backing up the RV like we're about to turn around. I tell the party what I'm doing. So I'm going to basically do a quick turnaround, open up the back door, and you can attack, shoot, blast from the top of it.
Oh no,
Are you
And then
elevating too?
Should I elevate or stay on the ground?
I mean, if you elevate, there's more of a chance. Now it won't be able to hit us.
That's true. Alright, so I elevate and then I activate the shields.
Okay, so you're kind of backing off like that.
Yeah, and then I activate the shields. Except
Okay.
for the outgoing
Is,
fire.
On the spider, you said there was an exposed tank, right?
A large tank. Think about the spider, like the thorax of the spider is what appears to be a large tank.
Yeah, I know what I'm aiming for. Thank you.
Okay? And,
Guess I have nothing to aim for.
No,
then.
you can help me.
well,
And once I start the autopilot,
we're going through the action. That's yours, moving back. What are you doing, Maro?
I'm going to start charging up my caster.
How many
Okay,
guys
so that
are
takes
there?
a full round to charge, right?
Yes.
Okay. And there are 3 guys that you see. 4 main war machines right behind it.
I mean, it's.
And it looks like there's some other soldiers walking around. You're not sure how many.
Damage. Aim for the big thing.
And then there's that huge construct thing beyond it.
I'm gonna start with this shotgun attack and then.
You're in the RV.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
opening the back of the RV once I get to the attacking. So people can stand inside or on top and shoot.
Yeah, hand in the robbing.
My grenades and rifle, I'll do more damage.
Would my shotgun be in range?
No.
Yeah.
You have to get closer.
Use a grenade launcher.
Apparently, I have a.
I'd either have to jump out or.
Nice.
Use it.
It's my only level 6. It's a level 6.
And you don't have a
spell,
fast
and I
movement thing.
Yeah, no.
I can create undead.
Colleen, be careful not to get hit by that hammer. I think it might be able to make metal pancakes.
Please don't become a metal pancake.
Oh, I look forward if I get to roll that damage.
Yeah, 100 hit points of damage.
Pancake.
Negative 10.
We had
I get
Warforged.
negative 10 points.
I've never I don't know what the
what?
damage is.
Just
I have
What
I
did you say?
grab his
100
head and
points
start
and
crying.
I did not think that.
And it's a 15-foot range crushing damage.
Jesus Christ!
I'd be down to 55 hit points.
And yet we're still
Wow,
going to
but
attack.
I said
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
not gonna
big enough
attack.
to
I'm
squish
just-
the
you only
RV
have
in
to
one
know the
shot.
area.
So we shouldn't have attacked.
I mean, if we wanted to like storm the gate with the RV.
So what are
that
you
would be
doing?
the thing.
I'm not gonna make an attack. I'm just gonna
Stay on the
there.
RV?
I don't like
Before
that.
you take a little bit,
For
and
my
you see
level
if
5,
it's
I
40.
can cast the hollow.
Okay, just sit. It's fine for a little bit longer. Okay, we have enough time to finish this, and then we'll stop the stream for a little bit for dinner,
Okay.
and then we'll come back for the,
I could learn once
if you
more.
survive it, the travel through the gate. So, Fee,
Yeah.
we're back to you now. Okay, there are 3 guys. What are you're attacking one of them, I take it?
Yeah, which one's the one that said that? So,
The main one that was doing the talking, and the one that was to the right of him.
I'm gonna go for the ankles with my blade gun.
Ah, the Achilles tendon.
Or which one?
The one that was bad mouthing.
Both of them were.
Then I'll go for the one at the right first.
Okay. Roll for the attack. And you end up getting like 4 attacks anyway, so. Yep.
Yeah, that's no matters.
Back, he's a straight human. The one you were talking to is Typhling.
Go! I'm killing him too, and then I'm gonna take his corpse and eat it.
You're gonna turn into like some fucked up version of
You're gonna turn into what I was.
a Wendigo.
18.
That hits.
I have a +2 for humanoid. It's
20.
stuff.
How fucked up do you want his ankles to be?
DC of 9. AC of 9. You're fine. Go ahead, roll damage. And you can add a humanoid.
Diamond. That's a plus to your humanoid. You usually shot a necro?
Yeah.
I protect 20 feet radius around 4d10.
19?
Plus 1d10.
How do you want to do this?
5d10.
Just
from the
right in
ankle
groin.
up.
Just rip
Yeah.
From the ankle up.
Like pull the artery out so you see the blood spray. I mean,
You come out of the shadow, you slash across the first ankle, and then you arc up, slicing the other ankle all the way up the leg, across the buttock, into his chest, as you go on to your next action of attack. He collapses, screaming, okay, as blood just pours out, and he'll be dead before you finish your next attack.
Sounds so painful.
Nice.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Okay, that's one. Now,
That's one.
were you attacking the Typhling too? Okay, so that would be a humanoid demon.
So you have human and
Is it still a DC of 9?
18 again?
Okay.
roll damage.
Actually, this is your second. This is like your bonus attack from your first one. You still have 2 attacks after this.
I know.
So you can kill all of them.
I'm going to. 9?
That hits.
Okay.
That was damage.
That was damage.
Oh,
To
that
the
was
last
damage.
hit.
And then you add your. Oh, you're not using magic shield.
So you add
Did you?
humanoid
And that's everything together.
And you add humanoid and demon.
Your humanoid and,
Yeah.
or whichever one is higher of the two.
They're both 2.
Okay, so you rolled your d6s for your Shadow Necro and everything else. It came to 9. Okay. Well, how do you want to do this?
Same way.
You know, on this one, you'd reach the top of the first one, and then you just kind of swung over and dug your knife in as you sunk down into the shadow, slicing right down his back.
I just pictured his spine, just butterfly.
Okay? And you guys out in the RV who are looking back see him slump forward as you can see his exposed spine and rib cage.
Xander puts his leg up.
And
Great.
you have another one more guy.
Xander puts his leg up and puts his hands
Okay.
The last dude.
12.
Plus.
That hits.
Yeah, plus you're out of this, so yeah, you
Okay,
yeah.
roll damage.
12.
How do you want to
We're
do
not gonna
this?
get hits on any of them.
Feeling we're creative.
Just before you finish dipping into the shadow, you swing out and you chop the guy straight across the knees. Okay. He screams out as he collapses down,
I was in the
and
same room like you, and
he
then I
just-
put a blade to the knee.
bleeds out.
So we just are all watching as this
Okay.
army silently moves back, and she just mauled these 3 guys.
And then I take it you duck back into the
Yep.
shadow, and then she just disappears back again. In response, the hammer on that big thing comes swinging towards you, misses your RV by about 10 feet, slamming into the ground, and with this large shutter, you can see the cloud of dust smoke out. The hammer's gone down a good 8
Start-
inches into
start
the ground.
Speeding. Start
Okay,
speeding
the
away.
spider rises up, tries to shoot fire towards you. Let's see, I'm trying to remember the stats in here.
You have the shield up, right?
The shield's up, yes. AC 21. Force field plus 4, so it's 25 AC.
The fire, the edge of it licks across the edge of the shield, doesn't even come in or anywhere near. Okay, yes, make a wisdom saving throw. Miss, I'm terrified of fire.
19 plus 2.
You're fine.
Yep.
You are perfectly safe behind the shield. It doesn't matter if this whole thing was engulfed in lava right now. You know that you're okay. As all 4 of the war machines start moving forward. The ones that are on the RV, I will allow 2 of you to make a perception check.
19.
How dare you?
As you're looking out, seeing this and them moving towards you, and the hammer rising back up into the sky, you can also see behind that the construct is moving forward as well.
Kyle, the one at the gate's moving. We should try to get past it.
We can fly, they can't.
Fly back through.
Do it. Do it.
We can fly, they can't.
Come on, mate.
So wait,
Come on, mate.
wait, metagame. I want to know. I want to make sure you guys realize this. You're asking me to floor the pedal.
Curtis would do it.
You fuck yourself. That was me. You fucker.
Dad, can I go back into the RV? Then?
Next round.
Okay. I'll drive.
So you want to ram the gate with the construct in front of it? In my armored, shielded RV.
Yes.
Help push the fucking construct.
The
into
construct's
it.
moving towards you guys.
Okay, so
away
get
from the
behind
gate.
it. So
That spell you showed me. The level 6, third one down. We've been through the gate before, so you're familiar with it. So if you told me the direct route, the quickest route through the guy at max speed through the
why not
construct.
just go over his shovel?
Do you know what spell we're talking about? I know what spell we're talking about, but do you want to look at the spell on the list?
I think he's talking about know the path.
Know the path.
Okay, and that's not really going to help you in this kind of a case. Okay.
All you gotta do is fly.
If you want to try and rush the gate, we can do it.
That's what the party's telling me. I'm driving. So I'm listening to the party, and you guys want me to rush the gate?
Yes.
Straight up, fly over the construct or under the construct?
Come on, don't be a pussy.
I'm asking how you want it done.
Over the shoulder, hold.
Over.
Right through.
Okay. I want you to roll 3 different things if you're going to do this.
Is that what the party wants?
Yeah.
Sounds easy.
Okay, so...
There is no voice of reason
So,
in this party.
first,
so...
I want you to make an intelligence roll.
It's not Star Wars.
I cast guidance on him.
Saving throw? Guidance?
Straight intelligence roll.
3.
Just do regular guidance, unless you really want to waste your spells.
Okay,
You might want them for what's coming next.
10 plus my 5 plus a d4. That didn't go down. Plus 3, so 17.
Okay. Good. Now make a dex check. You gonna guidance him again?
Yes.
4 plus
Dex.
6, so 14.
Okay. Now make a performance check.
18 plus 3, 21 plus guidance.
At least you
is
do it with flair.
27.
Okay.
27
You
on that
Millennium Falcon.
Okay. So this is you were pulling away this way.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
and you
know.
were backing up
I
at
know.
an angle.
You're doing it
Upon
back, you know?
hearing this, okay, you tilt yourself forward, rocket up over them, come back down. As the construct's moving away, okay, you bounce off of its back and land right in front of the portal that the RV's too big to fit through.
Get out!
I just jumped through the back door.
Okay.
The turtle cockpit. The RV's bigger than we drove the turtle cart through last time we went there.
Yeah, the RV's bigger.
So is the back
It's
pointed
taller,
at the
and
portal?
when you fly, the wings are out, which makes it a lot wider. And the turtle cart barely fit through. You scrape the sides on the way in.
So how far away is the construct behind us at this point?
It's pretty big.
15 feet, and the portal is 3 feet.
Get out!
And you appear right as the landing happens is when you come out of the shadow, and as the RV grinds to a ground because he didn't do too well on his dexterity roll, so it was a bit of a rough slide landing. Okay, it was like a Tokyo Drift kind of drift moment into that sliding again into a parking space. Okay, and that's when you came in. Literally, like you pop out of the shadow a little bit and are flung out the rest of the way. Make a dexterity check for me.
Guidance.
And I need all the rest of you to make a dexterity check as
Is
well.
this when I call out at the top of my voice,
16?
run?
Saving throw?
This is just for the landing.
doesn't matter.
Because
14.
30, 20.
there's a DC 15, you rolled a 14.
Shit.
15.
Okay.
Oh, it's
It bounces off a window.
What did you get?
12.
And what was yours?
14.
Okay. All of you are fine. You go flying out, you catch yourself on the sidewall, okay, and then land perfectly, no problem. Okay. A bit shaken and freaked out. As you look out the mirror and out the window and you see the construct 15 feet around who's starting to turn around.
Is the
Back
back
of the
of
portal?
the RV pointed at the portal?
The back of the RV is pointed away from the side of the RV is pointed at the portal right now. You know that side door that opens?
Yep.
That.
Can I kick the door open and then jump into the portal?
Slides!
Make an attack roll.
It slides!
4.
Okay, now make a strength roll.
2.
Okay?
Well, 8.
Roll a d4.
1.
You take 1 point of damage as you stub your toe against the door that doesn't move at all.
Can I just
Stupid
Can I
fucking.
just go over to it and slide it open?
It opens right up.
I'm just gonna go in.
I've gone out into the
Everyone, portal!
So you're going through the portal.
I just
You go
look
through
at
the
door.
portal.
Oh.
Tuck my wings in and run.
I wait
portal.
until everyone leaves. If everyone's
Tap.
leaving, I gotta
Through.
grab the
I'm
RV and
I'm
run.
just gonna walk off the RV into the portal.
Okay, and you?
I'm running the portal.
The minute everyone's off the RV tap and dive
We're
myself.
eating ourselves into the
You all
portal,
jump
Xander's
through.
just-
Okay.
Y'all are
Which
eating.
and you were the
I'm
last
just
one?
Yes.
gonna
Okay.
pop and go
As you
chill.
jump through, you feel a gust of wind behind you as one of its paws comes down just as the RV disappears. So it hits just air and ground.
Nice. we just bullshitted our way through this.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry for saying what I said.
I love how you guys are like so jacked out for like warfare, and yet you avoid it at all freaking costs.
I killed 3 people. Okay?
She did! She's the one that like, I got my
2
kill. Fuck you
tieflings,
all.
1 humanoid. So you get 3 humanoid points in total and 2 demon
Take
points.
any other bodies?
No, I didn't.
Good.
So now we're in
Ravenloft.
Ravenloft.
And I'm going to stop the stream here for a little bit so we can get dinner, because it should be all ready right now.
Yeah, just the +2, I just bumped that up to the bar. Oh, wait,
No.
never mind. Never mind. I
You
found
go
it.
for your body count.
Yeah. Okay, so, humanoid was 3.
3 in total.
Demon was 2.
Bloodletter blades can be complicated, but once you get them going... Aren't bloodletters freaking awesome?
Mine's good.
It was
So you could just
humanoid
grab
and
one and
fiend,
plug it in my bag.
Alright.
It's easier.
So, I am stopping the stream for now. We will all be back shortly after dinner. Look forward to whoever might come back. So I have no idea who's in chat right now.
Connecting to neural net. Come lie next to me.
So yeah, once we're done in Ravenloft and we get the princess's friend, can we go hunt
No.
down this fucking pixie and slaughter it?
Well, not that.
Someone's dying.
So, I guess metagame or in-game, whatever you guys want to do it, is it looks like the Pixie's working with the Jackal Boy. As you,
Let's kill them both!
is there any way that we could cause discord between the 2 of them?
Easily.
Eating them.
No.
Easily.
He's got an idea.
They both have an idea.
Well, no, you have an idea that I know will work.
I was going to get on Crystal and have Arrow
Arc
in
next
his...
to the Pixie's lair.
Yeah, wait for Arrow and his crew to come after me, and then I'm just gonna go and have them chase me. So you guys would be able to kill them without much of an issue.
So we're gonna get them together and then we're gonna try to slaughter.
So,
Could do that. Listen.
As a
I
few
know
of you
one
might know we're
actually
back.
working.
We're back.
I'm so glad I caught that conversation. So you come through this portal, and as you come out on the other side, I need everyone to start with a perception roll.
18.
I see nothing.
What'd you roll?
thank you. 21.
My eyes stop working.
2.
18.
Okay, so the 4 of you, Lydia, Fee, Salmon, Sky. Well, let me start with the ones that failed. You see nothing but white. I need you to make an intelligence check. Okay. You guys see that
16.
the fog that you're in is so thick you can barely see further than the hand in front of your face. But you see movement all around you. And this overbearing feeling as you look up and you see this monstrous, shadowy form looming through the mists at least 50 feet above you,
Can I look for heartbeats?
punching over the entire township that you find yourself in.
Can I look for heartbeats? To see where people are and like if they're human and good or they have hearts.
Alright, so make a perception roll for that. Okay, what'd you got for your intelligence? 16? You are in the mists. This is the most dangerous area of Ravenloft you could be in. The gate should be outside of the mists, but you're within the mists right now.
So the mists have moved since last time I was here.
7.
Okay, we'll get to you in a moment.
Can I
What
look
are the
at
rest of you
the
doing?
I can
After
see it down
this.
there, right?
Yeah, about a little bit, exactly what I just described.
Even with my dark vision.
Yep, it's a
mist.
fog.
It's fog.
Okay, thanks to your shadow vision, though, you have a slightly better image of what's above you. Okay, this is a creature of the realm of shadow. Your armor is not comfortable.
Please, someone go pull a guy at the end of the mist. Please don't do it.
It's gonna eat me.
You're the only one with a handgun. Don't get any ideas from that movie.
I need to find a place to put him down.
Lydia, what are you doing?
Underwear.
Trying
Seeing all this.
trying to leave the choker.
Underwear.
Covering my face because I don't want to breathe in the fog.
Okay, you feel, because of your cleric nature as well, you feel that you are surrounded by undead.
Yeah, I remember this thing.
This is Ravenloft, right?
And your holy symbol and armor is glowing slightly. Alright,
Oh, yeah,
what are you
that's
doing?
right. I can remember.
Can you protect us from the
I'm not doing
ground?
anything.
You can't see jack squat except for white around you.
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay, so you can't even see if your friends are around you at this point. You don't know if you're there alone or with anyone else, or what's going on.
Remember who rules over this land.
Yeah, but yeah.
Everywhere.
You're not used to going into situations like this.
Could I try calling them, see where they're at?
Okay, you hear Claymore call out to you. Oh,
Is he not next to us in the group anymore?
he's right next to you.
We're next to you, buddy. You're
Okay.
fine.
He's like John and Ted too.
All of the four of you that cleared your perception can see him, and he's like, okay, literally his arm comes within like this close of like whacking one of you next
I'm
to
just
him,
gonna grab his
and
hand.
he's completely like
Like,
lost.
I'm just gonna grab
No,
his
because you're in
Oh,
the
shit.
middle of another action.
Well, since
Someone
I'm not
grab
doing
his hand.
anything, I go, Claymore, don't move, and I grab his arm.
Okay, and then you were doing the sense heartbeats.
Yeah, and I got the 7.
You sense the heartbeats of those around you, except for Zach.
He doesn't have one.
Nope. He has kind of a low whine, and nothing else.
Are we surrounded by undead?
Yes.
What?
I'm dead, rule this way.
This is a
Alright.
very dead land.
Now, next round. Everybody do a constitution check.
Oh, fuck. Saving?
Yep.
That was me giving myself
17.
plus D6 to my next perception check.
Okay.
Yay, that worked! That's pretty cool!
16.
17.
So, which one? What is?
Okay. This is
Y'all
a
might need to help
constitution
me in a
saving
minute.
throw.
You ready?
So can I use that bonus on
5. Your total? Yes, you can use that on this.
Plus my
I can
saving
raise the
throw,
dead.
10. But that's technically a
19.
fumble.
16.
23.
17.
You can. Okay. You, the ones that got over 15. You can feel the cold of the necrotic energy start seeping into you. You're able to hold it back with conscious thought. Okay, and you got a 5? Okay.
How much damage will it take?
5 points necrotic damage.
My 5.
Okay. And the glow of your armor and your holy symbol is becoming faded.
So, now that it's, now that it's the next round,
Not yet. You're still a view.
What did you roll?
Take 16 points into necrotic damage, and I need you to do a wisdom saving throw.
What's 155 minus 16? Someone do the math for me.
139.
Yeah.
Fucking hell!
What?
I rolled another fucking 2!
You're destined to die.
Okay.
For wisdom saving throw, which
You
my
were the one that
wisdom
wanted
saving
the
throw
new
is a
character,
+2,
right?
so 4.
Dark flames start erupting all over your body as
Oh,
you
because we're
feel
going to get your
yourself
character.
burning.
That's a good question. Why
But
is
it's
your
a
asthma
cold
working right
That's
now?
not an asthma.
Flame.
That is a.
Can someone give me the number?
What?
155 minus 16.
139.
Thank you.
So you are spazzing out now, believing that you're on fire. Okay.
Magic circle.
What are you doing?
Protection from undead might work too.
Or
Kyle grabbed your hand, so now you know that you're out of the pillow. You can make another perception check to see if you can
first, I'll make another
First
perception check.
see what's going on a bit.
Yeah, so I'm not dying.
What is she looking for?
Anything to help us versus undead.
I can cast magic circle, but I don't think that can move the
4.
It's centered on you.
So group up.
What?
That's 4.
Everybody's
4?
around me.
I'm
Yeah.
tweaking on the ground right
You're
now.
still blind.
We'll leave her in the.
Okay, Fee, what are you doing?
No, the RV's taken away. Never mind, you have to come to carry us.
I'm tweaking on the ground, thinking I'm surrounded by black flames.
Yes, I'm a philosophy.
Blinky's here with me, right?
Of course.
Hey, Blinky, can you maybe clear the fog up around us a bit?
No,
No.
I may not survive long.
Can I de-summon him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be desummoned automatically next round. Even phased, he's going to take the necrotic damage of the mists. Okay, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast magic circle.
Magic circle? You gotta tell me the right spell.
Celestial elemental phase fiends or undead can't enter.
And what's it called?
Magic circle.
Pretty sure it's Circle of Protection.
I'm reading magic circle.
Okay.
Check the circle of protection though, it might be the better one.
Okay, so what are you setting it for protection against?
Undead.
Okay. And that's a, what radius around you?
feet. And it only lasts 1 minute, so I might not
Okay.
past that.
So all of you find yourselves within the circle, and the mist starts to clear.
Do I stop tweaking?
No,
Fuck.
she's freaking out. It doesn't stop the fear effect that's on you. Okay, and shortly you'll be able to make a wisdom saving throw to try and clear it, and if you fail it, it gets worse.
Can I pull out a joint of common motions and start smoking that and just blow the smoke at her?
Next round you can.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to Sam's turn.
I'm gonna start blowing smoke.
Is he balanced and not fighting you or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
You want to make sure
balanced.
you weren't still lost.
Okay,
Like,
Maro's freaking out.
I'm tweaking on the ground.
She thinks she's on fire.
Black fire.
She's
She's not.
She's like trying to put herself out like she's on fire.
can I
And she's talking about how it burns.
can I
It
call
burns
out
so
to her as
cold.
an off action? Try to persuade her to calm down.
You can try.
Persuasion roll.
Right, I'm not fighting
Okay,
it.
make a persuasion roll.
17 plus math.
Make a
Persuasion.
wisdom
22.
saving throw.
22 total.
14 plus my 2. So 16.
And you got a 22?
22.
Okay. Kyle's quite calming. His voice gets through and you realize you're not on fire. You haven't been burned. But you can see across your flesh the blackened sections where your flesh has started to rot away, where the fires were. As the wood of your flesh is darkened and frayed and cracking.
I'm just gonna go up next to Kyle and just leave it all in juggling.
Yeah. So, next round, what are you doing?
Does anyone else see the cracks and the burns and everything, or is it just me?
Yeah, he'll be able to pick it up a little bit, but the other ones aren't really noticing.
I mean, there's nothing for me to really do yet, so I'm just gonna chill out.
Okay. Fee, what are you doing?
It's nothing to do,
So you're all just standing there.
so we should start
Probably
moving.
move.
We gotta start moving. I only
Okay.
have this for a minute. We
I guess I'm
need
just
to
gonna start
find
walking
that
forward.
person.
Walking forward?
Yep.
Okay.
Around her.
You
I
have to
tell
stay
everyone
around
to
me.
stay around the cleric and we make our way.
I'm
I
staying
help
next
you,
to
I help you
him.
move,
Okay.
and we follow the cleric moving up
Does
the
he
floor.
see it now? Now that he's actually looked at me?
I'm assisting. I don't know if that
No,
qualifies.
you would have noticed they were
Is she
blackened
bound up?
section to flesh.
Oh,
It's
there's
not.
bone damage?
It's not.
Necrotic.
It's necrotic.
The necrotic damage you took came through as bone damage to your mind. You're alright though, you're fine. We'll keep moving through.
So you're moving forward, Lydia?
Yeah.
Do you want me to pop? I tell you, if I pop up the RV, we get into it. We can make some speed with it.
Okay. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
can hit stuff on the way.
Can I explain to them?
Do you
what
see
the
anything we
mist
can
is
hit?
now?
Yep.
You're not seeing the shadows.
Go ahead.
Don't know.
The dead people.
Oh, you didn't research it? Okay. So the mists are the necrotic ethereal energy that are surrounding all of the realms of Ravenloft. Okay? The mist is what causes the undead. They are spirits. They are undead energies. They are connected to the astral plane and pandemonium, but not connected at the same time. And it is impossible to survive within the mist for more than a very short time.
As we're walking, I'm gonna say that to the party.
Okay? And if you spend too long in the mists, you're most likely going to be mutated or turned undead.
You have to realize when I lived here, this mist was not in Ravenloft. It was around it.
Yep. Last time you guys were here, you came out into the mist, but the mists were just barely coming around the portal because you could see down the street and see the spirits walking around last time, and it cleared out directly up ahead. It was only about 20 feet of mist around the portal. Now you can't see where this road that you're on ends. You can't even tell really that you're on a road.
Can we just go fly or something?
And it's just calling the princess and asking where the friend is.
Should we pull up the RV first to move on that?
Um,
I mean, we're still within the minute.
Tomorrow, you have a chance to make a reaction. You're the only one that has the ability that you're not surprised. So I want you to make a strength check.
Can I rage first?
You don't have time.
Okay, 16.
Okay. You get this. You're not even. It's never really happened to you before like this. But you get this sense that something's coming, and as you put yourself up to defend and root yourself in, this gigantic shadowy claw comes down and strikes right into you. Okay? You barely hold yourself rooted there as this shadowy presence pushes up against you. And you realize if you hadn't made that, the entire party would have gone flying. And as such, take 2 points of bludgeoning necrotic damage.
I take half of bludgeoning?
You're not raging
Oh,
yet.
that's right, so...
So, 2 points. And all of you see her root in and brace yourself quick as, you know that creature you saw above you?
The 50-foot tall thing?
Okay, there's an arm coming off of it that's connected to this claw that just swiped at you.
I'll heal you later.
Walked across the highway at the end of the mist.
What?
I'm imagining the creature that walks across the highway at the end of the mist.
I'm picturing the thing from, Princess Mononoke.
You know that YouTube video that shows that weird shadowy creature walking up the side of a building and then over it that everyone talks about?
The Slenderman thing?
Yeah, that's the thing that's basically standing above you. That just swung at you. And otherwise you are so thick in the mists that you can't tell where the spirits begin and the mist ends.
I'm gonna basically call out, We need to
Not with
move
shield up.
now.
Get in the RV.
Yep, I brought the RV,
No.
immediately pop in the drop.
It doesn't come out.
You just
Man.
lost the RV.
No, it's on my, it's on my bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay, I lose the RV, I can activate it. Oh. Can I pull a gun?
Nope. Not from your bracelet.
I have a lot of... I don't have my shit.
Well, let's just go.
Yeah, so we just
got
got...
find this colorful person
Can I
and leave
push
before
it
kills
back?
One of the
the
side
entire
effects of
party.
this is that it blocks all summonings.
So we can't summon
And
our
So
weapons.
I
Planar
can't
travel.
summon my spiritual weapon or my tiny
And
clown.
also, I'm assuming that we probably need to summon the door to get out quickly.
Can I?
Which means that we're stuck here until we find the colorful person.
When we get
and
to
then
your turn,
leave.
I'm kind of going around, or
Alright,
trying to right now. Do
I-
you guys? What do you guys want to do?
Fight now.
We'll start with Zach. What do you want to do? There's this giant maw or hand attacking
That I'm keeping
Morrow.
from hitting everyone.
Thank you for not throwing that word. You definitely deserve a good
I
deal
think we
out.
should
You
try to
actually-
get out of there.
So what do you want to do? Run?
Don't run
No, I
from
don't
me.
want to. I'm not gonna run away from them. I'm gonna stay where I am. I'm gonna stay with them for now.
So what do you want to do? You just gonna stand there?
You have your swords on your holster.
Yeah.
You don't have a bracelet yet. You
You're right,
can use
you
your
actually
weapons.
have your weapons, dude.
We don't.
Oh,
Your shoddy and your swords are on you. Unlike
Actually,
us.
I never poofed the cannon. I had it on me when I went through them. So I basically dropped it and caught this. So the cannon's sitting.
You can still be holding it. You just braced yourself.
Oh,
Like
so
I
I'm
said,
just like,
you automatically rooted yourself in order to do it.
so I'm just holding.
Hold the gun off.
So you're basically like this with that arm against you.
Is that thing still
Okay.
charged? You never fired it.
Yes, I never
No!
So then just aim up.
Next to your turn.
We'll
next
get
to
to your turn.
But yeah,
So
man,
you're just
alright, in that
standing there?
case, I'm gonna take up the shotgun and aim for it. Try to take a shot at it.
The shotgun? Okay.
Yeah. Using a slug.
Alright, roll to attack.
10,
Yeah.
one, so 11.
11. Okay. Unfortunately, you see the slug fires. Doesn't seem to have any effect. You do hear something clatter up against. You do hear it hit a stone wall
Timber.
a few moments later. But first of all, you're still blind in the fog for the most part, and it went right through it. It's a non-magical slug. B, what are you doing?
Can't throw weapons. Can't use magic.
You still have the sword out.
Yeah, you never put it away.
So can I see this thing? Can I try slashing at it and see what happens?
Yep. You can
Its arm
attack
is
it.
right against me, so you could hit its arm.
Aberration.
The aberration.
Whatever,
No
shadow thing it is.
addition to that. So. Hey.
Well, you can add one to aberration because you swipe right through it, but you don't hit it hard enough to do any damage.
Is
It's
it
so
like a
big,
normal
you're not going to be able to miss
throw?
it. It's just
I still have a few attacks with it.
go ahead.
You have no idea what
14?
it is.
I don't know what to add to it.
You have
Yep.
no idea what the
No, that would be
next is
you add your dex.
You have no idea where to go. You have no idea what the next is gonna happen.
Okay, and it's a +1 naturally.
Very well. Could be great.
So 19.
So your weapon's a +1 naturally, plus your dex, plus whatever you
So
roll.
19.
19. Okay, roll damage.
Did you get any of the first previously?
Colorful girl. We know she's at a camp outside the gate. So we know that there is a camp.
12 damage?
Not
What would I add my
right?
dex?
We
No,
should-
you would
we
just
should
add
get-
your.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's
there's only
just
one
like-
path, so I mean, we are on the right path according to this.
Okay. It
Kind of. That might be
slices
the-
into it. You find that the necrotic energy and the shadow energy just kind of seeps into it. But
Yeah, Shadow
you
and
feel the blade had some resistance as you went through it.
Shadow and Necro won't work in this thing.
You can already say.
That's
Radiant
what I
damage,
will.
nice.
Okay. You have 2 more attacks. Right?
Yeah. 16
Plus your dex.
19 again.
That hits. Roll damage.
No. None.
9.
Not 20.
Okay.
Off with its arm.
Roll damage. Make sure you double your rolls. Except you can just negate the necrotic and shadow because
It's fine.
they're not affecting it. Well, they are kind of affecting it, but
Would
I'm
add
being
it or
nice
not?
at the moment and not healing it with every hit you do.
Shadow Necro is good for it. It heals it.
It's a shadow knuckle demon.
So
Wait,
don't
I
add
thought you
it.
said that my shadow thing would eat the shadow necro thing. Or
It was
that I-
afraid that it's going to eat your armor's afraid that this creature's going to eat it.
Okay, so with the mouse, can I try to not necro shadow
Like,
with that?
we shot.
Yeah.
See how that goes? Okay.
And then double it. No, that the number you rolled
Oh,
is just
8.
8?
times. So you rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, you felt it go through. It hasn't reacted at all. It's still pushing against her.
And I'm still.
Alright.
You want to hold your action?
So,
Did it pierce you?
yeah, and this shadow is coming within your circle of protection.
We need to go.
So you want to just call off action, call to the party, run for it? Basically?
Well, we can't run. She's rooted,
Yes,
and she's being pushed off.
Oh, well, so do you want to hold your action till I
I'm
shoot?
holding my action until you shoot.
Okay.
Or until
yes.
I shoot.
Well, I have a radiant gun.
Okay, so you're holding your action and
Yeah.
I
okay.
have a fucking cannon.
Jake, what are you doing?
Do you think
Radiant
that'll actually do
damage.
much to it?
Just iterating that we should get out of here as fast as possible.
Okay.
Can I see the creature that the arm's connected to, or am I only seeing the appendage?
Yeah, it's about 50 feet above you.
Okay, I'm gonna aim for the headshot
With an arm going around.
and I draw Maraudin's.
Well, the head's about 75 feet away from you.
Shoot the arm. Let it make it retract.
Shoot
Okay, I'll shoot the
damn
arm
thing.
for a shot.
that's hitting me.
With
Okay.
Maraudin's hand, which I draw because I don't have
Make
it.
an attack roll.
Can I aim down the sight? No, that's another scope. Never mind.
You haven't scoped this one.
I mean, it's close enough.
Doesn't even have either bonuses.
What did you get?
What about your dex?
9.
9?
Yep.
That hits.
Okay. So
This thing's freaking huge.
And you're like 2
Okay.
feet away
Can you
from
hit a
it.
building?
this is radiant damage. 12 times 2. It's
Yeah, so that would be
I
24.
get Vex,
Yeah,
and that would be qualified as. Yeah. So I need 5d6s.
and that adds to that same damage type.
Okay. So.
So, yeah, roll it all, add it all together, and then tell me the total, and I'll double that.
18 plus 12, 26.
26, so 52.
Yep. Still, is it still alive? I keep shooting.
No, I have to make a
Oh.
reaction roll. Alright, no, it stays pushing against you. You do feel it like
Sure.
shimmer a little bit, and a little bit less of a push on you.
Shoot this motherfucker again.
Alright, I go for another
You don't
shot.
get the backstab on the second
Yep.
shot.
18 plus my, total, 5 damage for that one. Times 2 is 10. If it's radiant, which it is. And I just have my bonus shot. But I'll wait. So,
No, you only get 2 rounds, because it's the maximum amount of shots that that gun can do.
oh, that's right. Oh.
And for your bonus, you could have used another weapon, but you can't seem to get it to come out.
No, I forgot about that. Yeah, that gun's. Okay.
Yep. Okay, and
Left it on the 2.
that has a second effect of preserve, spare the dying,
Spare the
right?
dying, yep.
Okay, that makes a difference.
Well, it's not undead. I just tried to spare the dying the undead.
It hurts them.
It's 10 points of damage to it. Every
So I
time.
just did another 20? I made it twice.
No, it's radiant, so you ended up doing an extra 40.
Oh shit.
The things, you hear this low, guttural scream that just shakes every bone in your body. You feel your soul itself vibrating and feeling heavy as the arm spins away from you at a high rate. You can feel a vacuum of air being pulled along with it.
Can I root myself now?
Yep, you guys each have a chance to make an action quick.
Let's
Unroot and everybody start running.
Let's run.
I help her. Once
Okay.
she gets unrooted, I grab her. And
What's everybody's movement rate?
40.
30.
30 is the slowest?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're what?
30.
You're 30? Okay,
40.
30.
40.
30. 40. I can dash for a bonus, but...
I thought you had a increased
You know, I thought
movement.
I think Curtis has a higher one than Kyle. I don't know, that's kind of...
I
weird.
may have forgotten to update your movement.
Okay, so I should have a 40.
I'll take a look at it when
Appreciate it.
before I print out the new character sheet for next week.
Like, yeah, Kyle should be at 140.
Okay. So, everyone with 40 ends up being 10 feet ahead of the group and just outside of her bubble. Okay? But, the 40 brewers, I'm going to include you with that because I know that you had
I
the
thought
increased
so.
movement. So it was you, and you. And you have 42? Okay. So, the two of you see that everyone has gotten ahead of you. Okay? And they disappear into the fog. Okay?
Well, you better keep running.
You guys, as you get to the edge of your movement, you see the fog trailing off, and you can see a forest ahead of you and a road.
I see
I
the light!
call back to the group.
Keep going, we'll go up.
I'm gonna call as I'm running, I see the light!
Keep going. Don't get up there. I sent that via thingy.
The ground shakes as another shadowed moss slams down right to the side of the two of you.
You need to run.
Okay? Bits of grass and shrubbery and dirt come flying up and pelt off of you. Okay.
Run.
We're already
Just-
ahead of you guys.
So you guys
Run
moving
again.
full speed ahead again?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, get to the
You guys are out. Okay, another 10, 15 feet, and you guys start coming out of the mists. You come out, you see them all, these guys ahead of you, about 10 feet, just sitting there catching their breath quick. And as you turn around, you can see the grotesque, shadowy, demonic face of this creature rise out of the mists, screaming as the mist itself just kind of moves further out towards you. And the mist comes another good 5 feet further than it was before. What are you guys doing now?
Are we all
RV,
safe
RV,
now?
RV,
RV, RV.
I pull out the RV. Does it pop?
Yep.
You can pull out your guns, too.
RV
Everyone
first.
can pull out their weapons.
Okay.
Oh, I saw
I
the
get
charge
into the
shot!
RV.
Can I hit it?
It's at this point 80. So you're looking at 120 feet.
No, it wouldn't have that.
No?
No.
Okay.
I'll just put it away.
Alright.
It's still charged. I'll just put it away.
Okay.
Pull out
So,
my glaive just in case.
so I take it you're following the road out?
Yeah.
Yeah, once
We're in the RV at this
does everyone
point.
get in the RV?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, this now resembles more like home. Okay, it's dark, twisted woods. Okay, a night sky that has a completely different set of stars in this land than it did where you originally came from.
Just as ugly as I remember it.
Yeah. You're not originally from this section of Ravenloft. You came from another one and traveled through this one to get here.
Still ugly.
And this one's much uglier than yours. You're from Strahd's section, you know, and a lot of that section is. Buy yourself another blessing, huh?
Well, it's one less to do with the points.
Okay.
But
Next time we do this, can we just go through another tunnel and just like take the like portal dude like here?
So you guys travel north for about 20 minutes. You remember that there's a town about an hour's journey or so normally. Okay, but at the rate that you're going, after about 20 minutes, you can see the outskirts of the town, and it's a heavily walled small village, and there appears to be a circle of carts outside of the town with a bonfire where you can, as you come closer, you start hearing music.
Kyle, man.
Oh, so can I get a hold of Crystal?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask if she could teleport me up to her now.
Okay, so while you're traveling, can you go through that whole plan one more time, just so that we have a last explanation as to why you're leaving?
I'm gonna go be a distraction for Arrow and his pirates here. Since I have his ship, if he notices that,
He's pissy about it.
he'll come after me,
Yeah.
and I'll just start leading him away.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wait for us to finish here, and we'll give you the okay.
Okay.
So you're just gonna go? Alright. And then she just goes in the door and disappears.
Yes.
Yes. Do you need to be healed?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay. It doesn't work.
Oh!
It's necrotic damage.
I can't help you.
You have to use restoration to get rid of it before. And this is worse necrotic than what Bee's character uses.
I don't like when he hugs me, so. I use greater restoration when I
What?
I need healing. No.
It's necrotic damage. You can't heal that normally.
No.
Can I use greater restoration?
Yep.
I mean, when I find stuff like that. It's the first one I've used.
I still need
Okay.
to heal now.
So after greater restoration, all that dried, cracked out necrotic flesh is now fresh wounds. But it's just sensitive, like raw kind of burn.
Better?
So what are you gonna do? Like a greater prayer of healing that just heals everyone?
Sure.
You haven't read all your spells yet, have you?
I read a lot of them.
See, I'm nice because of the token network. She can use the full spell book. You know, because this whole memorizing spells can get annoying, and I'm overly nice in some ways. But you know, you got to know what the spells do. You have a couple group heals. I know you
have
do.
a couple group heals because I've used them multiple times, like Matt healing word.
Yep, there you go.
I just can't find where Matt healing word is.
Okay, so we're gonna basically end it here. Okay, because I'm going to write up your new character sheets for the level. Okay. So I'll probably be in contact with a few of you to ask some questions and shit along during the week. Otherwise, Saturday when we meet for
I could technically use Morrow. She's only a level 1 druid.
No,
No, different.
Has to be a different
these are going to be new characters.
Sky, new characters. Think of how you want to new character to me. You choose that. Whatever you really feel like you would want to try, go online. Because I'm being a fucking psionicist. I've never been even a cast
Yep.
player. So I'm going for the one
Okay,
level.
so let's talk about that afterwards. For now, let's just talk about this game right now. Okay, so when we start up next week, it's going to be entering the caravan outside of town. Okay, and you'll all have your level up. Is there anything in particular that any of you want to do? Because you have a good hour, roughly hour that you've been traveling. So if you wanted to do that for you, then you could do the whole time jump and have a new character ready if you wanted to go through that.
Work with Curtis to get the new
The avatar upgrade.
Alright, which would be much better. A lot.
You want to do that?
Sounds good.
Alright, then
I'm just gonna start.
You know what?
the Xander.
Let's just do this while I have you right here anyway. So,
No.
first thing you're gonna need to do. So,
The reason we don't have a bag.
we're gonna go through a mini side campaign. Is anyone going with Zach, Claymore, to go visit Curtis? Not into the towns now. I'm talking about the half hour. The only reason that he's going to be able to do this is because the token network,
Yeah.
where you can do the time jump thing.
Yeah. No, I have no reason.
Because he's going to be gone for about 2-3 hours. And then, so he has an extra 2-3 hours of gameplay in the half hour, 45-minute drive that you have.
Oh, so if I go back to Coco momentarily, I could get a full rest because I have an hour.
Yeah, you could do it right in the van, actually. Okay. It just means that you don't get...
And go talk to Saga about the harbor, see how that one's coming along.
Okay, so you're all following feedback?
I'll go to mine. I'll open my own door and go into my pocket to my
Yes, but you have to go back to Toka in order to get the...
So the obvious park I activate that'll be the
Okay, so you guys are parking?
Well,
a little bit?
near the encampment.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, once you're near the encampment, you shouldn't have to.
I was just figuring when she walked through, you guys could go through, do your Toka stuff, come back while you continue driving.
Okay, that works too.
Okay, and then that way it's just they took the time jump because of the Toka whole temporal issue network. Because she's going off to travel to go and grab Crystal. I just wanted to help him too. We can re-roll his stats, and then I can rebuild his character from there for him. Yeah, I had shit rolls.
Dude,
When I,
0-0.
yeah, I mean, so
Don't worry, he's gonna help you out.
yeah.
This is the save. This is.
Okay, and I'm going to give you a couple options here. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But whichever way you choose, you have to go with before you roll dice. Okay? So,
We still
Yeah,
stream.
that song starts.
Huh?
We're still streaming.
yeah, I'm going to leave this part on the stream just so that I have it for record.
Okay.
And I don't even know if anyone's watching at this point. So, here are your choices. You can A, roll a d20 for each of your rolls, which means you'll get anything from 1 to 20. 2, you can roll 3d6 and add 2, which means you'll get anywhere from a 5 to a 20. Okay. Your next one would be 5d4, which would be anywhere from a 5 to a 20. Or I will let you do a point spread, where we put 15 into each of your stats, and you can move points from one stat to another as you see fit.
But if I sleep, I'm really tired.
So which way would you like to do it?
Huh? 20 or the 15 strap,
The d20 is the one I would least recommend, because you're going to get 1 to 20. 5d4, you're going to have 5 to 20. 3d6, you're going to have 5 to 20.
Alright.
It's up to you.
6.
You want to do the 3d6?
Sure.
Okay. So grab 3d6.
Static move.
Okay, and a piece of scrap paper.
No, it's not the
Is there another one? This one's just got.
You told me about them sometimes.
I'll add those onto your character sheet while we're here anyway. So that's 12 plus 2. So that first one would be 14. Okay, next. Plus 2.
11.
That's 11. Yeah, these aren't turning out much better for you.
16, 18.
Yeah.
12, 14.
Okay. 6 total. So that's 4.
No, I was kind of wonderful in March.
8.
They can be.
They can be.
9.
So, if you take a look at your character, okay, your rolls went down.
He's technically a life taker and used to darker powers.
Oh no.
I'm a tank. I don't want. And I played magic classes in case I need a man.
So, are you? I'll give you one. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Okay. So, can I get a vote from everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken doesn't get me
As the party, okay. Should I
Come
We're
in,
voting on
Be-
something.
nice and let him go with the point spread instead, or should I let him go with what he has?
What's a point spread?
What does he
He
have?
gets a 15 in each stat and can move numbers around
Point spread.
accordingly.
Point spread.
But once
Point
it's
spread.
said, it's said.
Point spread.
Point spread.
Because that puts him about equivalent to all of you guys.
Point spread.
Point spread.
Or he has rolls of 14, 11, 18, 14, 8, 11.
That's
Point
not
spread.
His rolls went down compared to his previous.
point spread.
Point spread.
Otherwise, you're just not having the best of luck.
You all agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Say thank you to your party.
Thanks, Dad.
We
we're very
got you,
good
fam. Don't worry
people.
about it.
You good?
I got you, man.
No. I'm not going to. I don't want to plant anymore. I actually want to be something made of fresh. I am adopting a character when we're in Ravenloft.
A Ken too.
Raven.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
Yes.
You do
So-
realize that the primitive plane that we get locked in might not be good for flying?
15.
They don't
Alright,
have wings.
now,
They just look like
so,
tadpole birds.
on your character sheet, to make it a little bit easier for yourself, next to each of your stats,
True, I'm a
okay,
humanoid.
put a 15.
Good time with you.
That's
Okay.
literally what they look like.
So, you want to be your Skeksis?
Pretty much.
See, why don't you just go with that?
Because they're called Kenkus.
And the Skeksis are much weaker. And a Kenku can only repeat stuff it has heard directly. It cannot communicate in its own words.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
No.
No. It just cannot create it. It talks like a parrot.
So if we were to ask you a question, you wouldn't be able to
We
answer.
could.
No.
Only if
even
she could come
talking
up with the
stuff.
exact...
That would be a very
Comment
technical
that she's heard
player
before.
to play Sky.
It's going to be very difficult.
Communicating would be difficult if you could only
Okay.
repeat words.
So,
and phrases.
you can move points from any one stat to any other stat.
Read through a dictionary with it.
Okay.
All of a sudden you can talk fluent.
How many dice?
No, it can only do things it's heard. It's a parrot style.
Actually,
So it's like,
That one
hey,
goes
is
to
that
that
over
stat
there?
there.
You would have to be able to associate
So,
something you've heard to answer your
Like,
question.
as a warrior,
It could be
you want the strength. Okay? You're getting a +3
right?
because
But you
you're
get what I'm saying,
Warforged.
though. Have strong
So,
application, you need it. But like,
All you actually need to do at that point is... This will give you, like, ungodly strength. Because right now you're at 15. I mean 18 total.
That doesn't make
Okay?
sense though.
So, if you took 2 points from one of your other stats, you'd be at 20. And you can go over 20 in this method. So you could bring it up to 22. Which will give you an even better bonus for strength. So, for that, if you took 4 points out total, where if you just took, like, say,
Something didn't make sense.
4 out of your intelligence and put it into your
yeah,
strength,
that sounds
The
pretty
whole
good.
mimic
Because,
thing,
Okay.
because
then that would put
yes,
your
it can
intelligence
mimic sounds,
down
but
at
it also
11.
speaks
Okay,
That's what
which
it says on the
puts you right back like you
Says
were.
that's what the DM said.
And
better than
then-
it was
Mimic
before
range is
because
one
it
of
was
the
had
three.
8. So
Yeah, 19, so that gives you a +6 to all of your damage and attack rolls. With that. Okay, your dexterity is at 15 now, which is good. Okay, you probably just want to leave it
I
there.
didn't notice that.
If you wanted a bit more into your intelligence or charisma or constitution, you can do that now. Constitution gives you better hit points and better saving throws for like poisons and stuff, which you don't have to worry about because you're immune to poison. Wisdom Comes in handy for like insight, perception, a lot of good stuff.
I could use some wisdom.
Charisma is how you affect other people. So at a 15 charisma, you're pretty good. But I mean, if you wanted some more like wisdom, you could take some out of your constitution even. So you'd have a little bit lower hit points, but you already have a decent defense.
Yeah, and I want to be able to have more wisdom. Kind of lower enough.
All right, so you want to bring over at least 2 points at a time to make it an even number.
All right.
So if you brought over 1 point, that's going to bring you to a +3.
I don't know.
So either.
Even if you took like care, it won't make any difference to your intelligence.
Alright, yeah. I can take 1 out of my charisma.
And what do you want to put it in then?
And a wisdom.
1 more point into wisdom isn't going to make a difference.
Alright,
yeah. Okay. 1 more point into your constitution would like bring up your hit point total.
Okay, I'll do that.
Or 1 more point in your charisma would bring up your deception, performance, persuasion, etc. Or if you even wanted to take like 2 points out of your charisma, or even 1 point out of your charisma and 1 out of your con, you could put another 1 into your wisdom for better wisdom saving throws and stuff like that. Or you could take 1 from your charisma, 1 from your constitution, which wouldn't change those base scores. Put the 2 into your intelligence, and then you get a +1 to those saving throws.
Alright.
What do you want to do?
I think that last one sounds better.
The point back into your intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that, and you see constitution doesn't change. Charisma doesn't change. Okay, and then with your intelligence, now you get a +1.
That's a lot better than having -1.
Yeah, so if you take a look at it now, you have +6 for your strength, okay, +3 for dexterity rolls, +2 for constitution, +1 for intelligence.
So now it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah, we're all done for tonight. I'll be in contact with you through the week for updating your character. Alright?
Thank you.
I thank you very much for a fun game. I hope everyone had a good time. I should have these streams should be available on Twitch already, and I'll be screwing with the video a little bit in order to put it up on YouTube. Okay?
Well, the stats are looking a lot better now.
You like those better?
A lot better than like -1s or 0s.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I pulled it up because I'm still really freaked out about the whole like they can't speak and everything.
Yeah. Let me go through some of that with you because I have some other ideas that can help you out with it too.
Yeah.
Depending on how you want to do it.
I'm not even asking for like a purebred
Actually,
thank
I
you.
want my hit first.
That's why I was like, they have the ability of mimicry. Yes.
But
Sky, if we
mimicry
can't
is the only
communicate
way
though,
that they
that
can talk.
But where does I
It's
read
in their backstory line.
Sky.
And
need
this
to
is
be
one of
able
the
to
things that come from the monster manual. They give you a light overview of a monster, but not the full fledged.
okay.
Like, look at the hag. Okay? When you looked into what I look at for a hag, it's everything that's in the book and then a shitload more. Or even worse, the aboleth.
Oh god.
You should have seen poor Sam's face when we watched that video. But hold on to the monster manual for a moment.
Look at the little page it is.
Yeah, because compare that to the Werecrow. Were-Raven.
Where?
Alright, so...
So the strength's at 22 now.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. So at least definitely much better. But now you have a shoddy.
It's not in here.
I boosted my wisdom, intelligence,
It's
so
not
that
in here. There's only
Dex,
were-bear,
strength.
were-boar, were-rat, were-tiger, and
You needed a
were-wolf.
boost. No, look, I'm looking at character
Okay.
sheet. That's what the idea of Curtis giving you an avatar body was because your stats suck. Like that was metagamey / my observance was like, yeah, you need to help. You need some boost. You know, and I understand it's just because you just joined late.
Back now?
You know, we've been at this for almost a year. So, I mean, yeah, watching up, we start at level 3. And now we're all level 11 or 12.
Where Raven.
So, you know, any boost you get
like the
to be
same
on all
Raven
levels.
Any boost is
And
enough.
then,
Okay. And they can do the mimicry.
I mean, now that
but
you dex a little
they can
better,
also
I wouldn't
talk like
mind
an
going you
actual
like
person.
my shotgun to use.
Because they
my
can switch
shotgun's
between the two.
Okay.
Okay, they still get the
I
kind
mean,
of
that was, I started,
basics
the
here.
gun I gave you.
They don't
was
get much
what I
of
started
anything
with.
for real bonuses to speak
Simple.
of.
Actually, yours was even more
But
sought
the
after
nice
mine
thing about
was.
this
Mine was
one
more
is you
rifle.
can actually fly.
So
As a
it's
were
2
Raven.
shots. and then I
Okay.
hit
Okay, the Kenku
Make sure I
King.
No,
reload
they're
it.
wings.
Yep.
Right.
And you just gotta stack the slugs.
Do I have to call out that I'm
And
reloading it?
look where they're from.
It's,
Okay, if we just keep
now,
moving.
during your turn, you have
Press
your
straw?
movement action, your basic
Raven lock.
action, your
Okay.
and then a
Okay.
bonus action.
So where Raven is something
So
you
with
could
the
even
shotgun,
do
you can
Be
use your
wary
main
that's
action to fire
supposed to
2
stay
shots,
in
bang,
the
bang.
Raven form?
Your bonus action reload.
Yeah, most are.
Okay.
Okay, it's an incredible
I've been-
constitution
my dex
check
is
in
high
order to
enough,
pull
my
yourself, and
reloading is
wisdom
off
check to
action.
pull yourself
I
back
can
to
switch
humanoid
bullets
form.
in the middle of a
I'll
fight.
play this, and I
But
want to be
you, on the
druid.
other hand, who doesn't have experience, your bonus action has to
You
be used
might
as
have
a
issues
reload.
with that.
Alright,
Why?
so when I
And
reload, am I
because
able
the
to
roll that you're
then
going
switch
to
ammo
doesn't have
then?
true
Yes.
magic.
You can reload different bullets for the one you just fired.
Okay. Just those two
Okay.
have to be fired before I can
They're all
switch.
playing Primordial.
Okay,
no,
so
you
So-
what class
could
would you
fire
recommend
one,
for a were-raven?
switch, and fire the other if
So,
you
if
wanted,
you want to take a
but
look at
trust me,
Primordial.
it's not, being that I have been a gunslinger for almost a year,
Primordial, you
it's
write
not
your own
gonna help you.
spells.
Like, if you're gonna go with slugs at the right range, go with slugs. If
So
you're
I
gonna go
could
with
be
spread shot at the
amazing
range,
and
go
write
with
my
spread
own
shot. Don't bother
devastating
mixing.
spells?
Okay.
Yep.
Too much technicality.
Yeah.
Yep, you choose a basic type.
I wasn't really
Okay, so
thinking
like
about
as you
doing
look
that
here,
anyway, I just
So it's kinda
wondering
like,
if it was possible.
so as you
Oh,
look
no,
here,
I mean,
you can see like
dude,
aeromancy
I
is
started
an
off
air element.
with a grenade launcher, a single barrel drop down
Cryomancy
grenade
is like
launcher, and
frost.
a slightly more
Divination
rifleless
is like
version of
seeing
what I
the
gave you.
future and farsight.
And
I'm
Electromancy
He's
glad I
doing
got guns
divination
down
now, right?
because
No,
swords,
he's psionics.
like, I just had to sit back and like, go see when you
Okay.
consider it that, like,
Electromancy is
the temple
electric.
with the chain.
Enchantment is you imbue objects.
you
with
guys are all like
different
hitting to take out the, like,
things. Okay.
the
Geomancy is
staffs,
earth.
and I'm just like,
Hydromancy is water.
Yup.
Okay. Pyromancy is
you
fire.
know what?
It's ridiculous.
It's
Spectromancy.
funny
Okay.
because I
Deals
don't even know
with,
that. I actually this more than I've touched.
like
this
numbers,
We
lights,
started these sessions
and ratios.
over 8 months ago.
Okay, it's the
In
like most
July
complicated.
of last year.
Summoning,
Which I actually
Is she
had
a
to look up on
summoner?
my character
Yeah.
sheet the initial creation
What did I
date
summon?
to figure that out.
spiritual creatures.
And when we started,
Okay, you'd have to make
now
deals
I
with
played
different
D&D when
phase
I
and
was
stuff
younger,
like
but
that in order to be
this
able
is
to
the first
summon
time I
them.
played
That would
D&D in
be
over a
so
decade.
easy.
And
then
I've
you
only
Tomorrow.
ever played
And
like
then you
fighters,
learn realm.
rangers,
And then
you
you
know,
learn
melee
base
guys,
spell-like
but
abilities.
never caster.
I want to be a summoner.
When we just started this,
Okay.
it was
There's
described as cursed
transmutation,
object hunting.
mysticism,
That was our job.
shamanism.
We
Okay,
were
this is
hired
the one
by
that
a
he's
previous
doing.
company from a previous
Okay.
campaign,
They
which is
used to
Token
think
the
there's
Bowl,
druids, but
our
it's
company.
actually the very
And we